Welcome to Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on CW11.
Hello and welcome into Premier Polaris Night at the races at Evergreen Speedway, and it is a beautiful day and we're excited to bring a ton of great racing to you. Kyler Hope, Caleb Hart up here in the booth with you guys, and we're starting out with some open wheel action.
We are. Welcome back to the driver's seat, Kyler. Nice to have you after a week off. Yep. Yes, and we've got a fun-packed show for you. I mean, you missed all the chaos of last week with buses and jumps and demo derby. We're going to go serious this week. A whole lot of action in the 3/8s and a lot of Premier divisions, and we're going to start it off with some hot midget action. I'm excited.
Exactly. I think this is one of the few events all year where all 5 classes are on the 3/8 mile oval, and that just makes up for some great racing. A ton of rubber's going to get laid down. It was a hot day. It was a really slippery day for these drivers. So practice during the sunshine, cars slipping, sliding around, qualifying on that, and then having to make adjustments for a changing track later on. So the teams have a big task at hand for them because it's really the first time all year they've had sunshine all day.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch how they adjust, how they move their setups in, out, do what they have to do to make their cars perform in premium condition coming towards a main event time. And speaking of which, we have got the Washington Midget Racing Association on the track scuffing their tires and getting some heat in them and getting ready to line up for their 25-lap A feature.
Exactly, yeah, their first time out here at Evergreen Speedway this year, and you've heard the term midget before with the Northwest Focus midgets, but these guys a little bit more power and more purpose built for the asphalt as well.
That's correct. So these are lighter weight cars. These are bigger horsepower cars. Same general wheelbase, but you also have a more spec built car. There is a difference between the chassis design on a spec purposed asphalt midget versus the Focus midget cars, which are very often cars that will go either way, the asphalt or the dirt. So these guys are locked loaded. They are pavement specialists, and it's a great group. It is the longest continuous sanctioning bodied racing series in the United States at this point in time. 80-something years, if I remember right. It's been pretty cool.
And it's awesome to have them here at Evergreen Speedway. There you see the 1 to go from John Peterson on the front row. It's a 91 of Josh Westerfield, and it is outside the 84 of Tony Saddleman.
Making up row number 2, Kenny Wood driving the 81. Mark Atkinson driving Skeeter Flakes number 71.
And then in row number 3, we got the 21 of Doug McLeese, and his outside the 4 of Garrett McLeese.
Chloe Hudson's in the back in the 72 midget as we are ready to go. These 7 fire-breathing cars going 25 times around. It's going to go quick, too.
Exactly, yeah. And they actually got a little bit of cloud coverage right now, right as they're about to go green. So it's going to shake things up. Green flag out. Seidelman with a huge jump from that outside line. Looked like Westfield maybe just didn't quite get going. That car didn't take off that well at all. And the inside line's really stacking up from that.
Yep. Seidelman's been the dominant force in the series over the past, I'm going to say, decade, maybe a little bit less. Look out. Somebody's got some problems and faded about 3 spots. And was that Westerfield? Sure looked like it was.
Yeah, it still looked like he was falling back. He looked like almost the car just died in the middle of the corner, so maybe some fueling issues or something going weird in that car, just not getting up to full power right away.
Could very well be. You know, these engines, they're 4-cylinder engines, but they are finicky. They're tricky. I mean, you're putting a lot of horsepower down to the ground, and on a surface like this that you're getting a lot of stick out of, they've got to perform at an optimal level. You know, these guys are pushing 300, 350 in huge horsepower ones, maybe 400, although I don't think any of the cars out here on this series are going to be up the 400 horsepower range, but definitely that's a lot of horse to put down on a little, over 1,000-pound car with a 71-inch wheelbase. Exactly,
yeah, and you're looking right now at the 81 of Kenny Wood, trying to hold off the 4 of Garrett McLeese as they battle just outside the top 3 right now. As so far, it's been a pretty clean battle. You see them taking that deep inside line, almost like a slide job there. A little bit of crossover move from Kenny Wood to get back to the inside of Garrett as they go back down into turn number 3 and just going to drift up the track, kind of slide up, block the line a little bit, and take that position back because this is a great battle right here inside the top 5.
It really is. Looks like Wood's got just like a little push coming at corner entry, and you can see the front end of that car. He's having to steer it twice to get it around. Wood driving for Carl Peter. That car's been on the sidelines for a couple of weeks as they've battled through some motor issues. And Wood, new to the seat of that car this year, that's the car that's been driven by Nick Larson in the previous years. Nick's off doing some trucking around the country and wasn't able to commit to a full schedule, so Kenny gets the draw in the Carl Peter machine.
Now we're going to flash up to the battle for a second. That's a 71. That says Skeeter Flake up on the screen. He's actually the car owner. It's a Kenny Wood, or Mark Atkinson
yep.
behind the wheel of the 71 machine, and he's trying to hold off Doug McLeese in the 21s. They battle for second right now. Tony Saddleman in the 84, way out up front in front of these two. And Saddleman, he's been near unstoppable in this series. It seems like whenever they come to Evergreen Speedway, he's so strong in the 84.
Yeah, he's got his stuff dialed well in. Saddleman already opening up half a straightaway, and this is a good performance from Atkinson in the 71. He climbed into the seat of this car, I'm going to say 3 weeks ago, thereabout, ran state line for Skeeter when Skeeter took a weekend off, and showed very well. So Skeet said, all right, you're the driver now for a little while. Go ahead and give her all she got. Right now, this is a good battle for second between him and McLeese. McLeese, if I remember right, he's got a feature win here at Evergreen Speedway in the Washington Midget Racing Association. So guy knows how to hustle the car around the track.
Yeah, as they call in some lap traffic now, trying to negotiate their way around. And there you see the 71 of Atkinson dive down the inside, going to take off and bring McLeese right along with them as they continue to battle hard for second place. Saddleman continues to open up that gap. There you see the good shot of it right there as they go by the start-finish line all the way back to fourth position. As looking to the inside now, McLeese got a run going into turn number 1 that time and just did not have enough to make it stick, and Atkinson's going to be able to hang on to that position for now.
Yeah, Atkinson's taking a really strange line through these corners. The car's almost hiccuping in weird spots, and we wondered earlier if maybe the 91 of Westerfield was having a problem with fueling somehow. I wonder if there's something mechanical in the way they've got the 71 set up now that's not letting him be smooth all the way through the throttle, through all the rest of the corner. And it might be something just as simple as throttle positioning within the cars. These cars, I can tell you from my Midget experience, granted on the dirt, not on the pavement, but we really did have to play a lot with the throttle to make it so that it accelerated smooth and came all the way down. We got some problems off in one of the corners.
Yeah, but it looks like the 81 of Kenny Wood, who was running in the 4th position. I think that was the lap car right there of Chloe Hudson as well, getting involved together. So, I mean, all 4 tires on the ground at least right here. As we'll take a look at replay, see if we can see what happened as they are off the banking in turns number 1 and 2. There you see the battle for second go ahead on your screen, and just catches the end of it. So cars coming together. I mean, it's midgets. They don't have spotters. They don't have mirrors, so it's really easy for a car to sneak up on you if you're not ready for it. And they got together, and fortunately, it didn't like too heavy a contact for either driver.
Nope, neither of them happy, although it looks like Hudson's going to continue on at the back of the field. So we're down to the halfway point.
Yeah, so caution came out just around halfway as we'll stack them up. Single file restart for WMRA Midgets as we get set to go the final 13 laps. And Evergreen Speedway is probably one of the more unique tracks they run all year because they'll head to State Line, they'll head to Wenatchee, a lot of quarter-mile or smaller tracks. But then they come to the 3/8-mile monster of Evergreen Speedway, and it's a really unique track, as we've talked about so much here on Home Track Heroes. The kind of off-camber entry into turn number 1, the wide back straightaway now allows a lot of multiple grooves of racing, so it's definitely a unique track for these midgets to come to.
You know, I'm a little surprised to not see anybody really using that extra runoff area in the back straightaway yet. You know, the typical line, even for these open wheel cars, is to hug the bottom of the corner, wash out way wide, make a big circle, and carry as much momentum going into the turns as you can. But most everybody is not drifting way high up on the back chute. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody adjusts and goes forward again. Seidelman doesn't need to do anything different. He has been so good here, and right now continues to lead, although Atkinson's not letting him go. Mark's doing a good job keeping him close here.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job on this restart to not let the 84 check out, and I think Seidelman's the only driver we've seen this year so far. We've seen him in a Granite Super Sprint car at least, I think, once, if not twice this year. I could just be thinking of the RP last year, but regardless, he's one of the more recent drivers here with experience on the 3/8 mile Evergreen Speedway, so he's definitely taking that to his advantage and leading the way right here. But like you said, Mark Atkinson doing a phenomenal job in that second position, able to hang tough and hopefully apply some pressure to your race leader. I mean, one little slip up from Seidelman, that's going to allow the 71 of Atkinson to be right there.
Yeah, this by no means is over. Atkinson close enough that if Seidelman makes a boo-boo, he's going to be right there. Now watch the 71 as he gets into the corner. Didn't get a good shot of it there, but it almost just has like a little hiccup right as he's going from the transition from the straightaway into the turn that I think is costing him 1/10 of a second. Although, again, it sure looks like, visually to me, he is narrowing the gap on Seidelman just a little bit as time's running out.
Yeah, it looks like Seidelman gets a little bit loose on entry almost. Could be the change of the track, because when they went green flag racing, it was a little bit cloudy, a little bit of coverage, so the track was a little bit cooler, but since then the sun has come out and they've gotten some laps going, so maybe Seidelman's car was better for a little bit colder track and set up for that way, and Skeeter set up that car for Atkinson to be a little bit more loose. He got really loose that time off the corner, and that's going to allow McLeese to close in tight for that battle for second.
Yeah, he had to pedal that thing, and you can see he's still having to pedal that thing. I don't know if something's different. I don't know if he's got a tire that started losing some pressure or what, but boy, he really had to wrestle it off of two, and now McLeese all over the back of him looking to advance another spot up on the podium.
Exactly, yeah. We were just talking about how sometimes that loose car can be fast, and he looked like he was maybe set up to be a little bit faster in the loose conditions, and all of a sudden he got really loose, and that allowed McLeese to get closing that gap and put a lot of pressure on the back of Atkinson as we watch this battle for second. And now just 4 laps to go, come to 3 to go this time by. These laps are clicking off very quickly.
one of the fastest divisions of cars we're going to have here at Evergreen Speedway over the course of the year. And Seidelman opening it up. Looks like he's got it well in hand at this point. Atkinson trying to hold strong for second as he had regained his rhythm. Whatever it was that changed on the race car, he kind of figured out how to drive it again. Now down to 2 to go. Atkinson still holding tough for that, but Seidelman looks to have this one all but sewed up.
Yeah, the 84 machine is just hooked along the bottom. It looks like it's not really fighting the car that much. You mentioned he looked like he wasn't really to get the car to rotate a ton, but maybe in the long run, that's how it needed to be set up, as the white flag is out for Tony Seidelman, coming through 1 and 2 one last time, just right on that white line, rotating the car perfectly down the back straightaway for the final time.
And Seidelman going to collect a Washington Midget Racing Association win. Down the straightaway. Oh, look out. Looks like the 71 got around, and that lets McLeese get by him. So McLeese gets second, and Atkinson gets third as the loose race car jumps up to bite Mark in the butt, but he'll still end up taking third in a pretty good performance. So.
Yeah, he was able to fight that 71 machine all the way around, 24 and 3/4 laps, and then finally coming off turn number 4, he lost it and got a little bit sideways. Was able to keep it out at the inside wall and keep the car fired up. So good job there by Mark Atkinson. He comes home third on the podium. Doug McLeese second. There's your winner right there, Tony Seidelman. Let's head down to the Angel of Winds platform and hear from him.
All right, Tony, how do you like coming out here at Evergreen Speedway?
Oh, I love this place. 25 minutes away from my house, and it's big and fast and always clean.
You looked real good out there. What was your secret?
Oh, I got tons of laps at this track in a midget and just put everything together tonight. We kind of choked a little in qualifying, made a wrong adjustment on the motor, and it kind of worked out in my favor this particular night, put me on the front row, and then it was just don't make any mistakes.
Do you have anyone you'd like to thank for tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my car owner, Randy Manners, for putting up with me and giving me a ride. My crew, Aaron Schweikel, coming out and helping me out, doing my tires tonight. And Sommers Race Engines, he builds powerful stuff.
Really making those moves there going into turn 1, real impressive. Grab your trophy there. Looked real good. How did it feel?
It was a little tight in the center. That 1 and 2 was the only spot I really had a chance, so I had to dive it in there as hard as I could.
You looked real good. How do you like coming out to Evergreen Speedway?
I love Evergreen. I've ran here a bunch in the big cars and a few times in the midgets, so it's a good track.
Have anyone you'd like to thank for tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the Seidelmans, and then I got a bunch of family, all the McLeeses.
Welcome up to the Angel of the Winds Winners Circle. How does it feel to be up here?
Tired, and I just want to thank Skeet so much for letting me drive his car. This is actually Mark Atkinson.
That would explain that. Coming out of turn 4 there, you got a bit loose. What happened?
Choked, conditioning, kind of all of the above, but unfortunately the car was real loose, and I just overdrove that corner.
All right. And do you have anyone you'd like to thank for being out here tonight?
I just got to give all my thanks to Skeet, honestly. He's done everything for me, put the car together, working really hard on it on the weekends, so I just appreciate all the time and energy he's put into this.
Welcome back to Home Track Heroes here on CW11, the first of 5 main events down. We're going to move on to the BECU mini stocks, and it's been a really fun class, and it's going to be a nice dry track for them too for once.
Yeah, about time, right? Mother Nature participating and deciding that she wants to bless us with her presence and some sunshine here on our race night. Let's take a look at our starting lineup. Is this one going to be fun as well?
Yep, so up there on the front row, his second start in his new car. That is the 16 of Travis Woodward, sponsored by Simon & Son Towing. And his outside, that's the 26 of Jimmy Absher, sponsored by Absher Build LLC.
In row number 2, Lane Sunholm. He's been the dominant force in the division, sponsored by Mark Whedon Farmers Insurance. It's the 18 car. Making Evergreen Speedway his home track this year in 2022. It's Kenny Legault in the Daddy-O Doc John number 22.
Row number 3, you can see the 72 of Ronnie Absher, sponsored by USC Foods, and his outside, that's a 221 of Lyndon Smith, sponsored by PRCBD.com.
Cassidy Sunholm sits inside row number 4. John Haynes and J2 Racing sponsors the 7 car. Tiffany Youngbaum in the Erickson Real Estate number 27 starts 8th.
As the field gets double file, you see them rounding out the field. That's the 24 of Jaden Kelly, sponsored by Tom's Automotive, and her outside at the 12 of Gavin Ballou, sponsored by J2 Racing, making his new car debut in that 12 machine. So
nice.
It's cool seeing some more new mini stocks come out and make their presence known at Evergreen Speedway as green flag is in the air. Travis Woodward showing them the way.
Shout out, by the way, to Jaden Kelly. Awesome save in the heat race. Sorry we couldn't get it on the program. But shout out to you. We all saw it. It was awesome.
It was a great save for sure going off that backstretch. We talked about that, how nice that backstretch can be, but sometimes if you go too far, it'll bite you. But she did a great job saving that car, and good to see her out here in the main event as Jimmy Apsher is going to lead lap number 1. Lane Selden on P2, Travis Woodward P number 3 right now as it's the front-wheel drive car leading the 2 Mustangs right now.
There you go. Quick. If you're shocked, raise your hand. Lane Sunholm challenging for the lead in the mini stocks. He has not been... How do I put this? He has taken the checkered flag first in every mini stock main event. He has not won every mini stock main event, but he has taken the checkered flag first in all of them so far this year, and he's looking to keep that streak alive. And it's really been him and Absher up in front of this field for a bulk of the season. Absher doing a good job so far, but this is a long race. We're only 3 laps in, and Lane looking for room down low going into the first corner.
Yeah, Jimmy going to drive a little bit defensive right there and try to block the 18 run, but coming off turn number 2 right here, you see Lane Sunholm carry that momentum and stick his nose to the inside, and I think Jimmy's going to say, all right, I'll let you have that lane, but I'm still going to fight you for it. One driver that's going to be another absence this week is the 07 and Zach Bristol, still battling some mechanical issues on his car, so we really hope to see him back out here as we see have a new race leader. Now Lane Sunholm that time by was leading the way.
Anybody shocked? Nope. Nope, nobody. Well, it's interesting. Sunholm has made most of his passes in the outside groove, so maybe Absher's trying something different. Hey, okay, prove that you can go short way around the racetrack, that the car handles just as well down there, and, well, Lane proved that quickly, definitively. Okay.
And we saw Jimmy hang a couple tires off on that backstretch, kick up some dust, and he's able to hang on to that 26 machine for now. As we're going to go flash a little bit farther back, there's Cassie Sunholm trying to hang on to the spot over Ronnie Apsher in the 72 with Jaden Kelly right there as well. It's a nice little 3-car battle just outside the top 5 that we're looking at right now.
Drivers getting some very valuable seat time and in race condition as well. You know, going out there and practicing by yourself is one thing, and we got a car spun off the back straightaway with problems. That's 21? 221 of Linden? No?
27 Tiffany Ingbaum, actually.
Aha.
Yeah, that little baby blue doesn't really stand out that much. But, yep, it's 27. Now you can see that she got the car fired back up as we'll take a look at a replay right here, up in front of your race leader and just taking the scenic route.
Well, yeah, wanted to explore
some rallycross.
Yeah, wanted to explore the green grass and then hangs out to blend in safely.
Yeah, that was a good move by her to not pull back out on track and actually bring out the caution. So she made a nice save getting there to the access road and then saw cars coming out her driver's side door and decided to hit the brakes. And that was probably the smart move on her part right there.
All right, well, we'll get ready for our restart here. This segment brought to you by Angel of the Winds Casino Resort. They now have sports betting. Think you can pick a winner? Prove it at Angel of the Winds Casino Resort, the only home for sports betting north of Seattle. Exit 210 off I-5 in Arlington.
And if you were to pick a winner in this race, it would be?
I think betting against anybody but the 18 car is a long shot.
Yep. That would be, that's a fair assumption right there.
No disrespect intended. However, it's just until somebody beats him, let me rephrase, until somebody else takes the checkered flag first, it's going to be pick him or pick the field, and a lot of people are going to pick Lane. And right on the restart, Absher trying to make something happen. He kicked up some dust.
Yeah, second time now he's gone off like that.
But there goes Lane. Bye-bye.
Yep, exactly. Lane Sunholm, I mean, when your car and your team and your driver are all clicking on the same cylinders like they have been all year long, it makes it really hard to beat them.
You factor in talented race car driver, good mechanical knowledge team, good car, and experience. Those guys been together for a while. Lane's got a bunch of laps around Evergreen Speedway in a mini stock. I mean, it's an equation for sustained success, just like he's having now.
Exactly, yeah. And Jimmy Apsher, he's not really letting him get away that quickly as they still have 22, now coming up on 21 laps to go. And Travis Woodward right there again in the 16. It's only his second time in that car. First time out was not ideal conditions, so it's good to see him on a nice dry track, and he's running really well in that third spot.
If I remember his Facebook post after that first race, he fought a lot of gremlins during that day. He's fought a lot of gremlins just to get this car to the racetrack at this point.
All year long, yeah.
Yep, so Travis doing a good job now, finally getting some sustained seat time and running third for now, seeing if he can put something together and run down Absher, although Absher for a guy, if we threw the 18 out of the equation, we'd be talking about him as the dominant car in the division right now. He has been consistently up front all year.
Exactly. Yeah, it's been him and Nat Barber, and Nat Barber actually a notable absence in this race as well, the 97 machine. So it's definitely a mixed-up field. It's weird not having all these strong drivers here on one night, because I don't think there's been a race where we've had Woodward, Absher, Barber, Justin Brave, and Sunholm and Zach Bristol all running together with their cars at their strongest.
It would make for a fascinating main event, that's for sure.
Exactly, yeah. And I mean, a lot of drivers trying to get prepared for the next event for them, which will be the Summer Showdown weekend, which is a huge event for the mini stocks as well. So we have our mini stocks run on the Friday portion of the Summer Showdown, and on a Saturday portion we have the Northwest Mini Stock Tour coming to invade, and we'll normally see some of our guys cross over and battle with them as well. So trying to protect their home turf is what you could say is on that Saturday. It's going to be a very fun race to watch in the mini stocks.
We hope you guys will make your plans not only to be live at Evergreen Speedway for that, as there is nothing better than the Summer Showdown live coming up Friday and Saturday of next week. My schedule is all screwed up, but we'll tell you about that a little bit later in the show when that's coming up. But you got to see it for yourself. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it'll be the next event you can watch in person. So definitely going to want to come out to Evergreen Speedway this next Friday and Saturday coming up.
Lane Sunholm just really, it's like he's playing Mario on easy mode. It's like the little Koopa Troopas are just not even bothering to look at him or even threaten him at this point in time.
Yeah, I think Jimmy Absher and Travis Woodward would really like a blue shell to pop up right now for them.
There you go. Or throw the banana peel out, or you get the heat-seeking red turtle shell. That one would work, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm old school on the Mario Kart. I remember Absher problems.
Yeah, we were just talking about him running second place and now coming to a crawling pace through turns 1 and 2. So far, yellow flag has not come out yet, but I don't think he's gonna have enough speed. Yep, the yellow flag is now out, as we'll see what's going on. It looks like he's banging on the steering wheel. Doesn't seem very happy inside the cockpit of that car.
It's either that or he was waving in the window to make sure that everybody saw that he was, I say disabled, off the pace, etc. That's something that you'll commonly see is somebody try to get their arm up in the air. Hey, I'm slow. Because people will look direct center of the cockpit in front of them when they're coming up on somebody. Good news for Absher is no fluids leaking out the back of that. So, you put a bunch of fluid down on the ground, it's the quick change is gone or the motor is gone or something. So hopefully whatever it is, mechanical, fixable, and not too expensive, which is a very important part when going to fix a race car.
Exactly, yeah. So maybe the car just died on him, lost power, something hopefully easy for him to get fixed and not too expensive, like you said.
Electrical or steering, either of those. I mean, steering can get expensive, but electrical, you just have a wire go bad or a ground go bad. Chase a wire, throw a couple bucks at it, and you're good. Fingers crossed for Jimmy that it's an easy fix.
Exactly, yeah. So we'll have a restart here halfway through, 15 down, 15 to go. Lane Sunholm now with Travis Woodward is outside. Good old Kenny Legault making up the inside of row number 2 with Lyndon Smith that is outside. So a couple new faces up towards the front of the field right here with Lyndon Smith, Ronnie Absher, and Cassie Sunholm all as well.
All right, we're chance for new face on the podium. I like it. A couple of them is Woodward on the outside of Sunholm. We're going to give him a run for it. Down into 1. There's Legault looking to take second. Big move from Daddy-O down to the bottom.
Yeah, huge run there for the 22. We'll see if he's able to make it stick. Drifts up a little bit, possibly a little bit of contact as he came up off the corner between him and Woodward. Woodward's going to take over the spot. The first side-by-side battle you see is going to be Ronnie Absher and Lyndon Smith for 4th, as now the new 3rd place up there. You'll see on the ticker here in a second. That is Ken Legault in the 22 machine.
That was kind of fun to watch Absher just lean on Lyndon to come through the corner, but kind of do it clean without wiping him out or taking him out of the line. Nice move for him up to 4th. Let's see if he can close the gap on Legault up in front of him. We're over halfway. In fact, make it 16 down, 17 down, 13 to go.
Yep, and there you see a nice shot of Travis Woodward's 16 machine. And very first race they actually brought that car out and competed, he had Mike Marthaler hop behind the wheel a bit. Mike is the crew chief on that 16 car, and I know it's been a huge help with Travis helping learn the rear-wheel drive, get it set up. He also leaned on Lane Sunholm a bit because he had a Volkswagen before this. Front-wheel drive, completely different driving style in the mini stock. I mean, same class, but just still completely different driving styles, and it's cool to see Travis up there running second right now as we'll flash back to just inside the top 5. We got now 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th all on your screen right there.
You think about it, the cars drive so insanely different, and it's hard to tell in a street car the difference between a front-wheel drive and a rear-wheel drive sometimes. But in a race car, when you're making circles, you think about it, the front-wheel drive, the drive tires literally have 75% of the weight of the entire car over the front third of it with the engine right in there. The rear-wheel drive cars have no weight over the back of them. So the way that you set them up, get them to weight transfer, get them to transfer the power that the engine is making down to the racetrack as far as the setup goes, is night and day. You can't just go apples to apples on setup stuff and go, okay, this works, here's where I set my tire pressures, here's where I want my caster, here's where I want my camber. You have to reimagine everything, relearn everything from a setup standpoint, and it makes the cars drive different too. So what Woodward's doing right now, very, very impressive, just to end up going from the front wheel drive to the rear wheel and having the success that he is.
Yeah, not only setup and all the different adjustments you can make, but also driving style completely different as well.
Yep.
Braking points really different, where you get on the throttle and how you maneuver through traffic as well. Everything is completely different. So it's completely relearning how to race essentially for Travis. So it's awesome seeing how well he's able to do in only his second race to be running up there P2 behind Lane Sunholm, who's arguably one of the strongest mini stocks in the nation.
Yeah, for sure. You say that, and you mentioned brake points, you mentioned where you're getting on the accelerator. What you do when the car gets in trouble and isn't doing what you want, if the back end starts breaking loose and you get loose, well, one car, you just hammer down and drive it harder. The other one, you lift and try to gather the thing back together. I mean, you try to drive out when a rear-wheel drive is getting spun like that, you're in serious, serious trouble. So
Exactly.
It's different. And again, Travis, granted, he's not in the picture right now, but running a really good second tonight, that shows you what he is capable of. Give them a little more time, and hopefully they'll be up there competing with the 18.
Exactly, yeah. And there you see Lane Sunholm, just 5 laps to go now for him, as he is a commanding lead going down the back straightaway, just nice and smooth. Right here, battle for third, really starting to heat up now. Ronnie Absher putting some pressure on Ken Legault with just 5 to go, and they got some lap traffic they have to maneuver with as well. So both these guys looking for their first podium of 2022, and I think first podium in the mini stock division here at Evergreen Speedway in a few years at least. So great battle here. You see Ken go way low to avoid that lap traffic. Here comes Ronnie, going to dive it deep down into turn number 1.
He had a look down there. Legault did a good job not panicking, hitting his marks and coming through, and Absher goes and kicks up the dust on the inside of the corner. Lyndon Smith also close enough that if something happens, he can jump up there and make it happen. And now Absher going to swing wide, going to try to get around him on the outside.
Yeah, carry that momentum, getting the throttle early, and see what he can do. 3 laps to go for Ken Legault, trying to hang on to that third spot on the podium. A ton of pressure. Ronnie got through that corner so well. Going to give him a little bit of a bumper going down into turn number 3.
Good job just tapping him to let him know he was there. He didn't actually touch him to get him around at any point in time. So Legault knows Absher's there, and Absher again tries swinging wide, cutting the corner, trying to actually almost diamond it off and get a look underneath as you've got your leader Lane Sunholm. 1 to go for him. This one's pretty well decided so long as he doesn't screw up in lap traffic.
Exactly, yeah, and that's his daughter right there, Cassie Sunholm, right in front of him. So we'll see how he decides to play this as they go through 3 and 4 one final time. Coming around off of turn number 4, that's your race winner. In the inside, Lane Sunholm in the 18. Travis Woodward right there coming to the picture, coming home P number 2. And that battle for third that was getting so exciting. Looks like Ken Legault is going to come out on top of that with Lyndon Smith and Ronnie Absher right there battling hard for the 4th and 5th spots as well.
Nice job, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Made it interesting there at the very end. So good podium, some new faces coming up on it, and one very familiar face that's going to be standing up on the top of the Angel of the Winds platform. We'll kick it down and talk to your winners. Lane Sunholm, once again, with a BECU mini stock, a feature win.
Lane, you look pretty good out there tonight. Got a decent win. The car still feeling nice?
Yeah, the car's real good. They do a real good job with the car. We had to reset it up right before because we messed some things up in the heat race, but other than that, we got it back together.
And you got anyone you'd like to thank for tonight?
Yeah, Mark Wheaton Insurance. Maybe he should do the speech. You want to look at the hood? J&R Truck Rentals, Lang Auto, FMR Racing, Grandpa for the Motors, Unique Design.
Had a good race out there tonight. Car feel nice?
Yeah, it's only my second time in that car. We've had some issues, but we got to figure it out now.
Content with that number 16 Mustang?
It is a Mustang. You know, I've learned a lot from Lane driving style because I came from a Volkswagen front-wheel drive to a rear-wheel drive. So it's going to be interesting.
Have anyone you'd like to thank for tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Brava Pizza, Simon & Son Towing, Joe's Racing, Arbini Fabrication, my family. That's about it.
Great race out there, running with the 72 those last few laps. What was that like?
He was definitely on my butt, and you know, I had to hold him off, and I did, just barely though. It is what it is.
running a great race out here. How did the car feel?
The car was actually pretty pushing through the corners, but this is the best it's ever been. Obviously a podium finish. They always say, do your homework, and I finally did some homework this week.
Have anyone you'd like to thank for tonight's performance?
Say it again.
Have anyone you'd like to thank for tonight's performance?
Oh yeah, definitely God, always number one. My wife, Lorene, Daddy-O, Doc John, he's my church dad. He was supposed to be here tonight, but he got COVID. But anyways, he's doing good. But yeah, so, and then of course my sponsors, Serve Quick Process Service. Daddy-O was one of my sponsors. Sign Stop Northwest, Central Welding Supplies, sponsors that are on there but not doing anything this year, but they're still good people. Anyways, it's hard to take. That's all I got for now.
Storming along here on a Sunday night on Home Track Heroes in the CW11, Caleb Hart, Kyler Hope, and we are all the way to Kyler's favorite division. It is time for the Street Stock A main event.
Exactly, yeah, and a great day for them. Beautiful weather out here as we see them rolling out onto the speedway. Just some of the best looking cars we see all year long come out to the track, and let's get to know that starting lineup. On the front row, your current points leader, the 57, Doug Poyer, sponsored by Ox Chassis. To his outside, the 88 of Ted Lindgren, last year's or 2 years champs ago, sponsored by American Image Hair Replacement.
Row number 2, the defending champion, the Interstate Batteries. Number 41 is Mark Hubbard. Next to him, it's the Dunstan Bradley Industrial. Number 3 of Jesse Jensen.
Row number 3 is made up of the 44 of Mike Marthaler, sponsored by Direct Carpet Cleaning and House Cleaning. His outside, the 51 of Jeff Watson, sponsored by Snohomish County Excavating.
4th row, Jim Fody, car number 85. Next to him, it's the 14 of Cullen Hubbard and the Let's Sack Cancer 1-4.
And the next row, we see the 22 of Kenny Erickson, sponsored by AFC Forestry. His outside, the Ad Taxi, number 69 of Austin Camp.
Row behind them, the Harding Motorsports, number 15 of Brent Rohrer. Next to him, it's the 16 of Scott Perkins, sponsored by All About Transmission and Automotive.
And rounding out the field, the 03 of Blaine Fagerly, sponsored by Stingray Auto Repair, as we get set for 30 times around for the NASCAR Street Stocks here at Evergreen Speedway. And it's just been a fun year with these guys. A lot of drama, a lot of pushing, a lot of shoving, but also a lot of hard racing.
Very competitive, this division. You look at it, Jesse Jensen in the 3-car. The 3-car, the Cruisewick-owned car, has been the dominant car in the division as far as race win goes, but you feel like any one of a handful of 8 drivers could get it any week. So who's it going to be this week? It's going to be fun to find out, and especially with Poyer having a front row starting spot with Lindgren. Those two up front are going to make for an interesting battle.
Exactly, yeah, and it's just been a fun year all, as these guys will also be on the docket for the Summer Showdown, so be sure to come out and watch them next week as green flag is in the air. Lindgren getting a good jump on the outside, going to try to pinch Poyer down going to turn number 1 and 2.
Poyer from the bottom, Lindgren up top, and that pinch doesn't work particularly well. Poyer's got the strength to come off the low groove and rocket into turn number 3. He's got the short lane around the raceway, forcing Lindgren up track, making him go the long distance around. Poyer's got the early lead, and it is Hubbard with one of his best starting positions all year inside row number 2, sneaking underneath Lindgren. Lindgren's going to lose multiple spots. He's way off the pace.
Yeah, something big time going wrong in the 88 machine, so he's losing a ton of spots there. Is not really sure what happened. It looks to be back under power now, but that was really weird. Coming off the corner, almost like it died on him. As first side-by-side battle we see right now is for 3rd, Mike Marthaler, and the 3 of Jesse Jensen going side-by-side. As up front, it is all the 57 of Doug Poyer with, like you said, Mark Hubbard, really good starting spot. We've seen him usually start 8th plus back all year long and really have to work his way forward. So he's been fortunate this week with a good starting spot.
Yeah, the redraw, the invert, definitely favoring Hubbard right now as he is all over the back bumper cover of Poyer. Poyer with about a car length as he gets way down the back straightaway. That battle for 3rd behind him, really good. You can see Jensen is really scrambling out in that outer groove. It's a place where he has been better in weeks past, and he gets out of that outside groove and actually tucks in behind Marthaler there. So I wonder if mechanically the 3-car not as happy in the middle or the high side as you get a great look off the back spoiler with Jeff Watson rolling in on him and trying to take fourth away.
Yeah, it's definitely unlike what we've seen all year long with this 3 machine, is a guy right up on his back bumper after he just lost a spot. So it's definitely different for Jesse Jensen not being in the car that's going around passing everyone on the outside. Like you mentioned, he's always been so strong in that outside groove no matter where he's put this car, but it's just not quite handling right, it seems like, for that 3 machine.
Boy, I like the attitude of the Watson car getting behind him. Look at that car getting into the corner and how stable it is, just hugging the low groove. Once it goes into dive on the front end of the race car, it just picks up and digs. And Jensen, you can see the back end steps out just a little on him right there. If that exacerbates, if that gets worse, Watson's going to have a nice clean lane underneath him right about at the apex of the corner. See if Jeff can take advantage of it. Jesse, again, trying to drive that 3 as best as he possibly can, but I think he's dealing with a little push in the center of the corner, and that's what's opening that door, although that was a much better 3 and 4 that last time around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's been fun to watch this battle from this view. I mean, Jeff Watson's all over the back bumper. Jesse Jensen doesn't quite have enough momentum to get a run, but he's definitely seems like he has a stronger car, just playing the patience game, trying to get around him.
There's a great look also at how much they're using that extra runoff that last time by that you saw it, and it's way more evident in watching the Watson car than it is in the Jensen car. So watch Watson. We'll see if he does it again as they come through the corner down there at the apex, and he's going to have a run down the middle, so he doesn't get off into the runoff. This time Jesse does, but that extra, paved footage that we put out there, that's how much these guys are using that stuff. What a great camera angle that we saw, and what a lot we just learned from that.
Exactly, yeah, that was awesome. Thanks to Gary Kuchala helping out with all the onboards all year long, so that was brought to you by him right there. It looks like the 51 is going to get to his inside this time by, so Jeff Watson challenging one of the stronger street stocks in the division with a great run that time, and through turns 3 and 4, looking to complete the pass to move himself up into 4th. And that 51 car, it's looking strong today.
Like we said, Jesse was just stepping out just enough center corner. He had washed just wide enough coming off it. Watson got a run. Watson's underneath him, and door panel to door panel for 4th at the moment, with Marthaler lingering in 3rd ahead of him. We'll watch Watson low in the 51, Jensen high in the 3 car, and give the spot to Watson, at least for the time being.
Yeah, he's looking really good that time through 1 and 2. You just saw how much the back end of the 3 car really stepped out through the center of the corner right there, and it really allowed Jeff Watson to get to the inside and really check out. But this segment is brought to you by Blue Boy Golf and Event Center. Looking for the perfect location to host your wedding or special corporate event? Look no farther than Blue Boy Golf and Event Center in Monroe. A beautiful 9-hole golf course with awesome mountain views makes a wonderful venue for your special day, as we almost got a challenge for the lead right there.
Mark Hubbard might be thinking about celebrating a race win over at Blue Boy, as he has started taking to the high groove, and we have marked in weeks past he is not afraid to race up there. So Hubbard starting to step out into the middle, at least on corner exit, and taking a look at Poyer, and Poyer might have seen him up there and started making an adjustment as he came off a little bit wider this time. And Hubbard, I think he's got Poyer thinking, especially with slower traffic looming.
Exactly, yeah, and just like that, Jeff Watson up into 3rd, gets around Mike Marthel. I don't know if Mike Spotter told him he was coming, like, hey, move up, let him take the lane, or what, but Jeff got around him really quick, got to the inside, or maybe Mike just missed the entrance in turn number 1 and opened up the door for Jeff. But Watson, new 3rd place, as he's going to set his sights on the leader now. He might be the fastest car on track in that 51 machine.
Yeah, the front 2 are not too far away from him for them to run him down, especially just beyond the halfway point. With Hubbard putting pressure on Poyer and Watson trying to run him down, interesting looking top 3 at the moment, as Hubbard again starting to experiment with the middle to high side of the racetrack to see if he can get the car to stick up there and see if he can drive around Poyer as opposed to wait for him to make a mistake and get underneath him.
Yeah, and like you said, making Poyer a thing, that's big, because it can really throw a driver off your rhythm when you have someone in your rearview mirror all of a sudden go way out to the outside, way out to the inside, and then it makes you think, makes you maybe miss your spot, miss your marks just enough to really throw off your rhythm. So Mark doing a good job right now, trying to experiment a little bit, see what he has for Doug Poyer up there in that front, as just like that, Jeff Watson's really starting to enter the picture. So it's almost going to be a 3-car battle here with just over 10 laps remaining.
During the course of the night, you really have 3 different lines around the racetrack to think about. You have your qualifying line, you have your racing line, and then you have your, how do I put it, experimental line. The one, okay, let's throw something at it and see if what we can get it to pass. Maybe even a passing line if you prefer. Right now, Poyer's having to dig into the 4th line, which is the defensive line at this point in time, as he is looking at Hubbard, and Hubbard is really making him adjust on the fly. You see Mark come up, and now Poyer pushes a little bit. There's Hubbard trying to sneak that nose in down low off the bottom of the corner.
Exactly, yeah, excuse me, as they battle off at turn number 4 right there. Hubbard getting really up close to Doug Poyer's back bumper, and if they get side by side or battling hard for a lap, that's going to allow Jeff Watson to stick his nose in that battle. He doesn't even need that lap. He's right there. It's a tight 3-car battle for the race lead. Just one little mistake from Poyer, and he's going to have his back bumper again pushed in from the 41 Hubbard, because Hubbard has nowhere to go now because he's feeling the pressure from Jeff Watson.
I guarantee you Hubbard's spotter has told him, okay, 51 has closed. Your time to play around is over. You got to go. If you want to hold second, you got to get to first. Down to the bottom, and he's going to try to beat Poyer into the corner, has to romp on the binders, getting into the turn. Poyer so far up to the challenge to hold Hubbard off, but Hubbard really sticking it to him, really cranking up the heat as we're coming into 6 to go.
Exactly. Yep. Here comes Jeff Watson looking to the inside. Mark's got to be careful running that a little bit outer good line, because that's going to open up the inside for Jeff Watson, where we've seen him make both his passes so far inside the top 5. So a little 3-car battle, almost all 3 running different lines that time through 1 and 2. Doug Poyer been able to lead every lap so far since he took over the race lead from Ted Lindgren early on. Doug Poyer coming off turn number 4, looking really solid, just having enough speed to hold Mark Hubbard behind him. We'll see if he's able, if Mark has anything to pull out in these last 5 laps, as Jeff Watson's all over his back bumper as well.
Hubbard's got to be careful. You can't play offense and defense in the same turn. You're going to neither go forward and probably go backwards at the same time. He started high. He tried to cut low to really impede Watson's run there. Got to commit one way or the other. Hold second or go for first, but don't try to play in between.
Exactly. Yep. Now just 3.5 laps remaining. About 2 car lengths between each of your top 3 as they go down into turns 3 and 4. Hubbard sliding just ever so slightly, so that right rear tire is probably screaming. I mean, we've been 27 laps green flag race, and these tires are the hottest they've probably been all year long, so definitely a different feel for all these drivers than what they're used to.
Poyer's best friend right now could be Watson. If Watson can close again on Hubbard and threaten him, Hubbard again will be put into decision mode, and if he decides to play defense, the race will be Doug's no matter what. And Watson, something happened there off of 4. Did he pick back up? Well, there he is, but whatever it was, it cost him.
Yeah, I think he might have just got loose and was trying to throttle it out and really heated up that right rear tire, and he lost a ton of ground. So that was definitely what the 41 Hubbard wanted to see. So now you can try to focus and put the pressure on Doug Poyer as the white flag is out, so he's only got 4 more turns to do it.
Poyer with 1 more set of corners down, makes it through 1 and 2. Slower traffic lingers, but it moves up a groove, and this one belongs to Doug Poyer. Nice 30 lap, wire to wire, caution free run for a checkered flag in the win for Doug. Hubbard was second, couldn't end up getting by him. Watson picks up a good podium finish in 3rd.
Yeah, green to checkered, 30 laps straight away, and no, that was the only time we saw lap traffic come into play, was right there on the last lap as well. So shows how tight the entire field was. Great street stock main event here at Evergreen Speedway from the NASCAR Street Stocks.
Yeah, well done, guys. As you look at the finishing order coming through the lineup, be interesting to see what Poyer has to say. Be interesting to see what Hubbard has to say about chasing Doug around for all those laps, but not able to do anything with him. Is fantastic battle out front. We go down to the Angel of the Winds platform, and Derek will talk with your top 3 and your winner, Doug Poyer.
You were leading in the points. Obviously, you're still leading in the points, but it's a really tight race right now between you and the 41 and the 3. So talk about what tonight means to the point race overall for the season.
Yeah, we're just coming here hope to run good. These guys are fast, and it's just a lot of work, and we got lucky, I think, tonight.
When you saw the 41 coming up and taking a look low and taking a look high, get a little nervous on those last few laps?
Yeah, I was a little nervous. I know Mark will race me clean, so I knew it'd be a good race either way, and just try to hold him off.
All right, tell us about the people that help you out.
Dave Lund, Casey, Ed, Lugs, Ox Chassis, and J2 Racing.
First off, Mark, that was a lot of fun. I thought you were going to maybe catch up to Doug. We saw you look to the inside. We saw you look to the outside, but maybe just not enough here tonight in the 41.
Yeah, I had stagger problem with the tires, so I ended up with a 3-week-old tire on the right rear, and it had no grip. So no forward bite.
That makes a little bit of a difference, right?
Yeah, it sure does. When you're looking for that new tire every other week, and then you can't use it, it really hurts.
All right. Mark, I know you have a lot of great sponsors that help you out in the 41. Tell us about them.
I would like to thank Truly Hard Seltzer, Interstate Batteries, Rick Chevron, Amsoil, Bullseye Auto Glass, Rick Chevron, Rick's Tire and Service, my crew, my brother. He really, really helps me out a lot. Jim, my dad, worked tons of hours, which I wouldn't be here without that. Today, I believe, is the first time in my life that I've been at a race and my dad hasn't been here. He's homesick, so I hope you get better, Dad. Love you.
Jeff, that was a lot of fun watching you kind of go through that field, and maybe a few more laps you might have had a chance to catch up to the 41 or even the 57.
Yeah, we struggled a little bit today with the heat. The car was super loose, it felt like, and we made some good changes for the main in the right direction. But yeah, I tried to sneak it in on the 41 and lost control a little bit. So my guy up in the stand said, hey, calm down, get back in your groove. It gets exciting though when you start passing guys who has a fast car. So
you got to listen to that spotter every once in a while, right?
Yeah. The guy in the head's good. Makes you think a little bit.
So tell us about the sponsors. Tell us about the people that help you out.
Oh yeah, I'd like to thank all my crew, SE Trucking and Excavating. They're new with us this year. I'm proud to have them on the car. Stack Design and Construction, Apex Pressure Washing. I got to thank Amsoil, a couple other sponsors on here, STM Concrete, Joe's, J2, and I know I'm forgetting one, Soundview Cruises. So thank you guys, this is for you, and thanks for all your help and support. And I'd like to thank my fiance. We're having a boy in 5 weeks, and she's been super supportive, and she's out here every race. She hasn't missed one, so thanks, babe, I love you, and this one's for you.
Welcome back to Home Track Heroes. We have just 2 main events left. Kyler Ope, Caleb Hart up here in the booth for you guys as we move on to the Legends. Always fun and always exciting.
Always entertaining. It never seems like we go with a Legend main without something happening. So let's see what goes down on this one as another huge field of cars ready to, once again, race on the 3/8.
Exactly, yeah, and it's a kind of a unique race here because we have a ton of names that we're not familiar with seeing, but there are also a bunch of big heavy hitters in the Northwest when it comes to Legend racing, as I'm sure a lot of them are taking advantage of this race to prepare for the showdown here in a few weeks. It's a big race weekend for them as well, so they're coming out here getting some testing done early because we got a lot of new names here in the lineup.
All right, let's zoom through that lineup. Greg Scott sits on the pole, the Mazda of Everett 08. Next to him, it's Aaron Fleck driving the 98 tonight, sponsored by Kent Collision Center.
Good to have Aaron back as row number 2, the 40 of Samantha Schwartz, sponsored by Dirt Cheap Sewer, and her outside, the 11C of Chad Cinder, sponsored by Mazda of Everett.
It's another Dirt Cheap Sewer car behind Samantha. The 30B is Braden Wager, and the 2 is Jeff Mueller, making up row number 3.
Row number 4, we see the 92 of Levy Jones, one of the drivers we mentioned, and another one, the 42 Chris Blanc. We've seen him out here before, but definitely 2 of the stronger Legend drivers in the Northwest here at Evergreen Speedway.
Row number 5 is the 33 of Kyle Lang, sponsored by J2 Racing Parts, and the 43 of Dylan Wolf.
Then the next row, we got the 09 of Cole Alton. Good to have him back as well, sponsored by Straight Alignment. His outside 77 of Cole Slater, sponsored by Lordco Auto Parts.
Your 13th place starters, Travis Bliven, that is car number 27. 14th, Andrew Reel in car number 69.
Then we got the 16 of Allie Mae Jones, and her outside the 10 of Chris Thompson, sponsored by LB Motorsports.
Final row, the YN Brokers number 82, Mason Nelson driving that car, and then it's Gene Watson rounding out the field of Premier Painting, number 18.
Yeah, so Mason Nelson, they just got that car put back together. We're testing it the night before this race, and we're involved in an accident with another driver on testing day and destroyed their primary car again. Had to rush to get this car from Angel Cervantes put together and fitted for Mason. So it's been a long 24 hours for that Mason Nelson team, so it's good to have him taking the end of the field in that 82 machine.
And when you say put together for him, Angel is a gigantic human being. He's like 6'3", 240 pounds, huge broad shoulders. So just reconfiguring, getting a seat in, readjusting the pedals, getting the steering where you want it, that's all things you got to consider when you're switching into a brand new car. So they had a lot of work on their hands to get this thing ready.
Exactly, yeah. Not to mention it would happen towards the end of a test session, so it was late on Friday night when this happened. So it was really within the last 24 hours they had to put all this together.
Yeah, find the car, find somebody willing to let them have it, yeah, do all the work to it, go from there. Kind of an adventure. We're green, and it is Greg Scott, feature winner on the year here at Evergreen Speedway, leading them down.
Aaron Flett coming off one of his best qualifying runs of his career as he starts up in the second position. He's got Chad Center pushing him down into turn number 2. Greg Scott looks like he's going to be able to lead through 3 and 4 and lead the first lap of this 30-lap Legend A main event. Aaron Flett in second, and Chad Center, it looks like Sam Schwartz actually got that at the line. So Sam in P number 3 with Chad Center, the 3-time champ, to her outside.
She is digging down there, making him work for it, going around the high groove. Both of them trying to chase down Flett. Flett back in the car for the first time in a while. Normally, John Zaretsky's been driving that, but John took the weekend off for health reasons. He's up spotting for Aaron, so he's got a good, smart guy in his ear and coaching him up as he tries to keep close to Greg Scott, who is just jetting out to another lead.
Exactly, yeah, and Aaron Flett last year, actually about a year ago almost to the date, because it was Showdown last year where we saw him go for a wild ride. Back in the car, got lifted up and slammed down really hard, suffered a back injury, so it's definitely good to see Aaron Flett back behind the wheel of that 98 machine here at Evergreen Speedway, coming up with the Showdown just a week away for him, so it's cool seeing him back out here tackling that beast that brought him down before.
Out at corner number 4, the battle for third is on. Chad Center, the green with white number 11. That's Jeff Mueller in the blue number 2 that's working to his outside and really pushing Chad. Chad rolling forward. He's going to hold down the spot. And underneath him and rolling now up into 4th, you see the 43, Dylan Wolf, making some noise.
Exactly, yeah. Started 10th. He was your fast time. And that 43 machine, he's due for a win. He has been fast. He's been there. He's been there at the end of the races. He's picked up quite a few heat race wins this year. Just hasn't quite been able to get all the puzzle pieces to fit together in the main event. And he started 10th all the way up to 4th already, just 5 laps in. That 43 car's on rails.
He is in a good position here as Center trying to move Flett out of the way. He will do so. He'll take over second. Wolf, smart, sticks the nose of the 43 right on Center. Going to try to follow him on through and up into 3rd.
Yep, so now Chad Center's going to set his sights on Greg Scott in the 08. And Dylan Wolf up into 3rd, like you mentioned, just looking really good in that 43 machine. Aaron Flett's going to fall into line in front of, I think that was the 42 of Belanca.
Is it Belanca or is it Wager? I think Wager's got a very similar painted car to Belanca. Hard to see. These numbers are so itty-bitty,
that
tiny
looks like
sometimes.
the yellow 42 of Belanca, I want to say. And then that's Levy Jones behind him in the 92. As Belanca's going to go sideways and spin himself around, able to keep it off of Flett, and going to do a 360, and hopefully it looks like we're going to be able to stay green, actually. So great piece of driving for Belanca. I mean, unfortunate for him to lose that many spots, but we stay green, and with that happening, Dylan Wolf gets around Chad Center for second.
Oh, wow. So Wolf, good timing, taking second over, now trying to run down Scott, and Scott, boy, that car has a little push to it mid-corner. This might be just a matter of time if Wolf can run him down.
Yeah, I mean, Dylan Wolf was your fast qualifier, started all the way back in 10th. So he's really been able to hunt down through lap traffic to catch up to Greg Scott so far. So I think it might just be only a matter of time. Still 21 laps to go. Plenty of time for Wolf to reel him in. But Chad Center, he's right to the back bumper of that 43 machine, so he's not letting him get away either. And then Aaron Flett and Levy Jones right there, 4th and 5th. So your top 5 all still relatively nose to tail.
And only 10 laps into this, 20 more times to go around here in the Legend Division. Scott seeing his lead evaporate rapidly. Here comes Wolf. Closes up the field, and let's see how he chooses to attack Greg Scott for the lead. The battle is on for the top spot.
Exactly, and you saw it to the right of your screen on that last shot. The 92 of Levy Jones got around Aaron Flett for 4th, so new 4th place runner. As up front, Dylan Wolf going to go around the outside of Greg Scott, not even going to waste any time, just going to get up there, pull his outside, and take over the race lead. 11 laps in, now 12 laps in actually, and Dylan Wolf, your race leader, 10th to 1st in 12 laps. That is incredible.
And a lot of confidence to just drive up and around with no pomp and circumstance to it. He just went and goes and quickly is moving himself forward and putting a lot of gap between himself. And now Chad Center, who's worked into second, he's bringing a train behind him.
Yeah, but Levy Jones, the 92, coming out area, his first start here at Evergreen Speedway this year. He's up to 3rd now, so he also got around the 08 of Greg Scott. Now Aaron Flett looking to the inside as well, trying to take over the 4th position. As it's a great battle right here, second on back. And Kyle Lang in the 33, he's making his way into the picture as well now. So last year's Rookie of the Year, and I know he's definitely up there in the points for this year, Kyle Lang, that 33. So he's biding his time and able to keep his nose clean as he puts pressure on the back of Aaron Flett in the 98 for the 5th spot.
Lang started 9th. He is running 6th at the moment and trying to crack his way up into that top 5 like you talked about, approaching the halfway point of this race. And battle for second getting good. Again, 92 of Levy Jones all over Center, who's been the top dog at Evergreen Speedway here. We've got caution lights on and a car to a stop at the end of the front straightaway.
Yeah, it's 18 of Gene Watson, and looks like maybe some contact with the front stretch wall. As you see the tire marks going down the front straightaway, it looks like he just got loose and maybe overcorrected. Don't have a replay for it, but just from the tire marks on the ground, that's my best assumption of what could have happened.
Pretty solid assumption on that one, and tough run there for Watson. Watson showed himself pretty well here in the Legend Division, and looks like his night's going to end just a little bit early here on Home Track Heroes.
Yeah, he was the B main event winner, was able to move on, so he already ran 20 laps right there, so tough way to end it right there.
That's right. Well, he can go to the pits and enjoy a nice cold Busch beer. Busch beer, the official beer of NASCAR and Evergreen Speedway. Busch beer, the sound of refreshment, crisp and cold as a mountain stream. Keep your fridge happy by stocking it with the Busch and Busch Light. Busch.
My big thing right now is Busch Apple. Have you had that yet?
Oh, I have. It's good.
Nice, crispy, refreshing.
We can't have it while we're on the TV, but, once the TV show is done.
I mean, that makes them for some entertaining TV. I think we might get a few more viewers if we do that.
Speaking of entertaining, good restart here. Looks like Levy Jones about to snake a spot away from center.
Yeah, he got that inside line rolling through 1 and 2 and all the way down the back straightaway. I think Chad almost doing the veteran move, going to let him get in there and then fall in line to make sure he doesn't lose any more spots and then try to challenge that spot later on. Jeff Mueller pushing Aaron Flett all the way down into 1 and 2, and I think that's going to allow Kyle Lang to get around that outside, carry that outside momentum as this is a great battle just outside the top 5. We see Greg Scott, Aaron Flett, Jeff Mueller, Chris Belanca, he's working his way back in, and there goes Kyle Lang around off the nose of Mueller. Sam Schwartz getting up in the air briefly. That's living down to the inside as well. Tough break there for a lot of strong drivers who are having some pretty good runs there. As that was kind of a tough hit for Sam as she got a little bit airborne going into turns 3 right there.
Chain reaction, and we're going to get a look here on the Evergreen Speedway replays. So let's take another peek at it and see exactly how it went down.
Yeah, I can't tell if Mueller came up or Lang came down. It looked like just a kind of a racing deal to me, I think.
Contact for sure.
Yeah.
Who you want to assign blame on, that's up to you. But that's how it went down, and they'll go to the back.
Yeah, and then Cole Alton got his right rear ran over by Sam Schwartz, and that's how her in front end got popped up. So I'll have to keep an eye on Cole Alton and make sure he doesn't have too much right rear damage there. As Bliven is able to continue and take the end of the field right there. As I don't see Kyle Lang or Sam Schwartz, so we might have lost a couple drivers there, but we'll focus our attention back up at the front of the field. It's Levy Jones now to the outside of Dylan Wolf. Let's see what that 92 has for the 43. Evergreen versus out-of-towner on that front row now.
Sure does look like they penalized Mueller's. Mueller's now starting at the back of the field as well. We're back to green. Jones on the outside, Wolf on the inside and center. Waiting for opportunity there, lingering in position number 3. Those 3 will break away from the rest of the pack as they head into the 3rd turn.
Yep, Greg Scott, Aaron Flett battling side by side for 4th with Belanca, and then I think that's Wager as well right there. So he's having a strong run. That 30 machine, just biding his time as well, keeping his nose clean as up front. Great battle for the race lead. Dylan Wolf, he definitely has the strongest car that we've seen, but Levy Jones, can he make the right adjustments here late? 13 coming up on 12 to go now this time by. Let's see what that 92 has.
There's a lot that can happen here as we watch Wolf due for a win, but he's got his hands full. Jones, car looks maneuverable, looks fast, and definitely making Wolf think out front.
Yeah, and just one mistake from either of these two drivers can allow Chad Center to come right back into the picture as well, as he's sitting pretty comfortable in 3rd, not a ton of pressure from behind him. He's got Aaron Flett sitting lonesome in 4th, and it's Wager and Scott and Belanca all battling for 5th. But this battle up front going to be hard to take our eyes away from as Levy Jones really closes the gap on quarter entry, and that time got pretty good drive off. It's hard to tell where Dylan Wolf has been faster than Levy Jones, but looks like Levy through 3 and 4, maybe just a little bit loose and not quite as comfortable, but he looks really strong down on 1 and 2.
They look really evenly matched at the moment right there. That lead's really not shrinking. It's really not expanding. Yeah, it might get a little closer, it might get a little further, but they say about the same distance apart. As now we're going to look backwards as we got 3 different 3-packs doing some racing.
Exactly, yeah. There you see the 69 Real. It's good to have him back out here. Garrett Archer actually ran that car last time the Legends were out, but 2 times ago it was Real who made his way up on the podium. The young 13 or 12-year-old, I want to say, one of the many young guns we have in this class.
Doesn't even have his learner's permit.
Exactly,
How about
yeah.
that? Yep.
As we'll flash it back up front now. Dylan Wolf still showing the way, but boy, that mirror is just full of that white and green number 92.
Spotter's got to be telling him 92's there. Hit your marks. Watch out. He still hasn't been able to get to a point where he's had a fender on him. So Wolf feeling the pressure. Jones doing a really good job of racing him clean in behind him. And Wolf, consistent on these laps. He hasn't really bobbled. He hasn't really altered, hasn't changed, but you know he sees him back there.
Exactly, yeah. And like I mentioned, Dylan Wolf, he's been fast, really fast this year, made great improvements on that 43 machine from where we've seen him in years past, and he's definitely due for that win. We've seen him up win heat races, but it seems like it's just been bad luck or things not falling his way when it comes to main events time after time, and he's just kind of been under the radar all year long. But this is definitely looking like it could be his breakout night in that 43 machine. Just 5 more times around this time by as they come. Levy Jones just looks like he really struggles through 3 and 4, and it's just has allowed Dylan to have this maintained lead and not have to fold under the pressure of Levy Jones.
If I'm Jones, I want this race to stay green, and as green as it can get at this point in time, because you don't have lap traffic, you're in rhythm, and you have a little bit of space between Jones. So if you're Wolf, that's what you're hoping for. We're down to 5 to go, and there's Braden Wager starting to put some big old pressure on Chad Sinner for the final podium spot, and he brought Belanca with him.
Exactly, yeah. Belanca was recovering nicely from that spin that he had earlier on in 3 and 4 by himself. Went around, full 360, and kept it going. We stayed green, and I know the officials here at Evergreen Speed really appreciate that when drivers are able to do that and keep it going, not bring out yellows. Wager's going to look to the inside now. This time by, we'll see what the young gun has for the 3-time champ as they go down into 1 and 2. He looks like he's going to be able to clear him completely that time, going down the back straightaway, but the yellow lights come on.
So yellow lights come out with 3 to go, as Wolf and Jones will be 1 and 2 here on the restart. As car spun out, I can't identify him. That'd be Thompson?
I think that's actually the 82 machine of Mason Nelson.
Okay.
And the borrowed machine, yep, that is the...
there he is.
Formerly driven by Angel Cervantes' car. So we talked about how sometimes learning a new car can be difficult. So there's a result of it. Yep.
27 good laps and, 1 mistake, and that's all that we're going to remember, unfortunately, is the one little mistake. Happened. Sorry, Mason.
So a lot of really good green flag runs so far. I mean, a lot longer than what we're used to with Legends, let's be honest. This class has been known for 5-6 laps caution, 5-6 laps caution. So getting these 10-plus lap green flag runs in has been a different treat, and it's been showed us some great racing right here.
It really has, and we're 2 by 2 now, and Sinner's in the 3rd row. Okay.
Interesting, yeah.
Weird. Not sure why. We were not clued in on the officials radio channel, so whatever happened, Sinner is now restarting 5th.
So we got Dylan Wolf, Levy Jones, row number 1, and row number 2 we got Braden Wager, the young gun, with Chris Belanca. So it's hometown, out of town, making up the field as we get set. Green flag is out in the air, and we got contact deep in the field as we got a couple cars go around. That's going to collect 4 drivers right there. Yellow flag comes out. And carnage down in turn number 1 as well. That's Chad Sinner and Braden Wager. We were just talking about those two.
Wow, take your eyes off the front for 1 second and look what happens. So cars wrecked in the front, cars wrecked in the back. And, well, what do you know, Kyler? Here you were saying we had a long good green flag run with cars not tearing up. And what do you know? We immediately tear up 18 race cars.
Yeah, so that's more than half the field tore up in 2 separate incidents on this restart. So we'll get a couple look at the different replays right here as I'm at a loss for words. Wow.
Well, okay. Let's. The video doesn't lie. So here's what happened going into turn number 1. Oh yeah, Wager overcooked it and chain reaction in behind him.
And Blivin got air. It looked like in that 27 machine. Keep an eye on him as he goes sideways off the bank, and that's a scary moment right there for him as he turns hard right. And yeah, that's quite the rodeo for him.
In, down, and through. I think that was Schwartz got a piece of him. So. From Sinner's cockpit, and there goes Braden around.
Just hit that flat spot, and
almost got past it. Oh well.
That steering wheel was off before he's even come to a stop, so that's an impressive steering wheel throw. As we'll look at the second incident now, as Mueller just going right up over the side of Mason Nelson, and that collects Chris Thompson. And
it went bad.
Couldn't see who the 4th car was. Yeah, exactly.
Up legend on the weekend.
So from inside Mason Nelson, here comes Mueller and just hops wheels and hooks them together and collects a 10 car. 16, Allie Mae Jones doing a great job getting by and surviving the night as we'll go inside of Mason Nelson right here. As we'll be back with more racing here on Home Track Heroes. Don't go anywhere here on CW11.
Well, we're trying to polish off the Legend A main event here on Home Track Heroes. 3 laps to go after, the big one. Finally, it got to us where we wiped out about 6 cars from this field. We're going back to action. Caleb Hart, Kyler Hope with you, and it is Dylan Wolf and Levy Jones battling for the top spot as they'll come around corner number 3 and bring us back to green.
Yeah, the big one happened between a 4-car incident in turn number 2 or 3, and a 4-car incident in turn number 1 and 2. So 2 different incidents at the same time. Wad up a lot of cars, but hey, green flag is back out in the air with just 3 to go. Dylan Wolf still trying to hold off Levy Jones.
doing a good job. He gets through turns 1 and 2. Jones drifts back a little ways. Good race on for third as well. Wager on the inside, Chris Belanca on the outside, and Belanca looking to sneak past him and maybe roll up on Jones for second. Wager, really good exit to turn number 4, holds the position. And there comes Real. Haven't talked about Real in a hot minute, but he is up into 5th and looking for 4th underneath Belanca.
Yeah, Belanca was going to try to duck down to the inside, but Real was there and occupied that space, so it's going to force the 42 to stay up top. I don't think the 42 really is as comfortable up there, but white flag is out for Dylan Wolf in the 43. Just got to hold off Levy Jones one more time through turns 3 and 4, and I've been saying all race long, I just don't think that 92 is very strong down at that end of the track.
Well, 2 more good corners is all Wolf has to make, and it looks like he did it successfully. Congratulations, the win to Dylan Wolf. Levy Jones a good second, and Braden Wager ends up taking third ahead of Real and Belanca, who both gave him a good run there towards the very, very end. So good Legend main event. Got a little carnage, got some good racing action as well, and we'll have some new faces down to the podium and learn a little bit more about these new drivers. Let's head on down and find out from your winner, the Angel of the Winds platform.
You had a fast car out there tonight. How was it handling?
It felt pretty good. It was a little loose towards the end, but we hung on to it.
92 in your rear view mirror. How was it those final 3 laps, that last shootout?
Oh, I knew he was there. All I knew I could do was stay calm and hold a steady line.
And do you have anyone you'd like to thank for tonight?
Yeah, Robbie Hoyt, my dad for setting up the car and teaching me how to drive, my sister Alex Keefe, and her husband Doug Keefe, and Terry Glithero.
All right, I asked Reagan, what was it like for you?
Oh man, it's been really fun because I grew up racing with these kids in quarter midgets over at the quarter midget track, so it's fun to see them all grow up and drive and start to get up there. I've been racing Legends for a while now. They're all just getting started, and I'm starting to step out, but it's cool to see them all up here up front.
You were contending with Dylan Wolf consistently through the night. How was it up there? Why weren't you able to make the move?
My car was just a little off tonight. You know, I haven't raced here before, other than a couple years ago now. But yeah, I'm just learning how the track handles. There's always little tricks to the track that you got to figure out. But I'm starting to learn it here, and we just need to make some more adjustments.
Guess I'm going to have to ask another question then. Are you coming back?
Yes, we are coming back for the Legend Showdown in, I want to say, 2 weekends.
All right, and final question, have anyone you'd like to thank for tonight?
I got to thank my mom, my dad, my sister who was racing the 16 car out there. Got to thank ILoveThisLife.org. They always support me. Great anti-bullying foundation that I like to support. Make sure to check them out. ILoveThisLife.org. And make sure to check me out. I'm racing the Montana 200 next weekend at Mission Valley Super Oval in Montana.
How old are you, Braden?
I'm 13.
13 years old, and he walks away with a podium from the Legend Day main. What was that chaotic race like for you?
It was pretty crazy. My car was really, really loose at the start, but it started to come in, and I was able to wheel it to the end.
You have anyone you'd like to thank for tonight?
I'd like to thank Francisca and Colin King, my mom, my dad, Purcell, and I'd like to thank Bradley for the hero cards.
Just 13 years old up there on the podium, and that's got to feel good with that strong field of Legend cars we talked about.
Yep, good run for him, and first time we see him on the podium, I'm sure we'll see him there a lot more. It's main event time.
Yep, 75 laps. Pro late models, Speedway Chevrolet Pro late models. There you see them rolling out onto the track, and it's finally getting some good weather for them. We're finally getting on a good streak for these guys because they've been weather struck all year long, so I'm sure they're going to be very happy to be out there. Before we get to the lineup, this segment is brought to you by Tire Pros. Tire Pros is the official tire dealer of Evergreen Speedway. Tire Pros is your one-stop tire retailer where honesty is the best policy, and they have a hassle-free guarantee. Tire Pros has all the national brands and offers a nationwide warranty on your tires. Go to tirepros.com SpeedwayShevrolet.com as we get set for 75 laps with the Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late models on the front row from the invert. The 9K, Caden Holmes, sponsored by Johansson Mechanical, looking for a good run this week. And his outside, that's the 98 of Greg Bennett, sponsored by Bennett Design Construction.
Row number 2, it's the Northland Contractors number 12C of Chad Fitzpatrick. Next to him, the PR CBD number 16 of Daniel Moore.
Sitting in 5th on the starting grid, that's the Harry's Towing number 45 of Nick Beecher. And his outside, the young Haley Constant, sponsored by Joe's Racing Products in the 78.
Row number 4, the J&R Truck Rentals number 18. That's Nama Lang. Next to him, Thomas Stanford, the 19 car, sponsored by D.A. Davidson Wealth Management.
In 9th starting position, that's the 7D of Dawson Cox, sponsored by Busch Light. And his outside, 89, Donnie Wannick. Good to see him back out here on the 3/8 mile.
Row behind them, it is 11th place starting Nick Gunderson, the 33G, New Property Solutions, the sponsor there. And the 3 of Wyatt Gardner, sponsored by Gardner Roofing.
Then we got the 14 of Colton Price, sponsored by D2 Foundations. His outside, 74 of Dan Beecher, sponsored by Beecher Motorsports.
Roll behind them, the Earhart Sales number 25 of Andrew Link, and the Laguna Northwest Laborers Union number 521 of Mike Jensen.
Rounding out the field, that's the 82 of Angel Cervantes, sponsored by Dirt Cheap Sewer. And yep, we mentioned same Angel Cervantes that had the legend that Mason Nelson got to drive. Well, got to drive until he got ran over, but
yeah,
it was still a good run for him, and a huge shout out to Angel Cervantes for letting Mason hop behind the wheel of his legend for that last main event.
Well, he's got a pro late model drive, right?
Exactly.
Got to get ready, and this is really the last tune-up for these drivers before Summer Showdown is coming up. Now it's 3/8 as opposed to the 5/8 that they're going to be on, but it's not an apples to apples tune-up. But make sure that the motor's running right. Make sure that car's cornering kind of like what you want to. This is a chance to learn something, get a little bit better in your program coming into our biggest weekend of the year.
Exactly. Yeah, help build that confidence up, because like we mentioned, next week you come out here Evergreen Speedway Friday and Saturday. Pro late models, they'll have their main event on Friday night. Super late models, they'll be in action on both Friday night for their qualifying heats, and then Saturday for their main event, the big payday, the 200 lapper. And you'll see some of the best drivers in the nation, including Derek Thorne, one of the hottest super late model drivers there is across the country, and he'll be up here at Evergreen Speedway. So you want to see the best, come on out to Evergreen Speedway.
You're going to want to be here on both nights too, because there's a bonus. If one driver can win both the pro late model and super late model race, they'll take home an extra chunk of change as well. So got to be here for both nights to see it all unfold.
Yep, could end up being one of the richest paydays in short track racing for asphalt super late models as we get set for 75 laps here on the 3/8 mile. Great jump there from Caden Holm in the 9K, diving down into turn number 1 and 2. Going to bring Chad Fitzpatrick along with him. Almost overshot that corner, actually. He almost carried too much momentum, it seemed like.
Caden's been in this position a couple of times already this year. Now let's see how it sequences out for him as he is racing out to the early advantage. Holmes sets the pace on lap number 1. Contact between Fitzpatrick and Bennett. Fitzpatrick's got second. He's bringing Beecher with him.
Yeah, lost a little bit of body panel, looked like there from Bennett's getting into his right rear going down the front straightaway, but it doesn't look like it's hurting the car too bad right now. That's allowed Caden Holm to open up a little bit of a lead. Like you mentioned, Caden Holm, he's been in this position before. He actually led the first 5 laps, one of our earlier races on the 3/8, and then broke while he was leading. So it's just been kind of one of those years for Caden Holm. We'll see what he's able to do up there in that 9K. You see Dan Morgan, a huge run off the bottom there in 3 and 4 to the inside of Greg Bennett. He's going to dive it in. A little bit of contact between the two, but they all both are able to keep it straight, and a little more contact down the front straightaway as Greg Bennett goes down to the side of Daniel Moore. But hey, they're all able to keep it straight, and I mean, it's short track racing, right?
That's right. Greg single-handedly trying to help me out with door panel sales on the week. I appreciate that, Greg. As he's going to drive back down to the inside and follow Moore in and around behind him now. Nama Lang tucking in and using up a little bit of bumper cover in behind him. They are racing physical early on in this contest.
Yeah, did we mention that it's 75 laps for these guys? They know that's a long race, right?
Pace yourself, boys. Fitzpatrick with a look to the inside. Holm will give him the lane, knows he's there, see if he can hold him off on the outside, but gives him plenty of space, and there goes Fitzpatrick to the lead off the bottom of turn number 4. 5 laps in, we got a new leader.
Yeah, and Chad Fitzpatrick, he's the current track record holder of the 3/8, and he's been very strong. He's been on the podium a few times in that 12C machine, so definitely wouldn't be bad for Caden to get in behind, get a rhythm, and kind of see how Chad attacks these races early on, and kind of fill up that notebook a little bit. I like to say it a lot. I mean, it's really good for these younger drivers to get behind some of these racers who have more experience on the 3/8 and really just go to school and really learn quickly.
Well, we both know that Caden's got an abundance of talent. The only thing that he is lacking right now is seasoning and laps, and there's a good guy to follow around as Chad Fitzpatrick has got a lot of seat time on the 3/8 Smile Oval here at Evergreen Speedway. There goes Lang, a peek to the inside. Can Bennett close him off? Yes, he can. Although Nema, a little bit of a touch there through 4 to let him know that he's around. Bennett, a good job holding him off in 4, gets back down to the bottom of 1 as there's Dawson Cox moving forward to the inside of Thomas Stanford, who's already got a heck of a tire smiley down the right-hand side of his car.
Exactly. I'm not sure that's maybe leftover from the last 5/8 race because he was battling hard with the 25, Randy Marshall Jr. So it could be leftover contact. It could be fresh from this race as we've seen plenty of contact early on. But Thomas Stanford, actually your fast qualifier, drew an 8 for the invert, started 8th, and he hasn't really been able to move forward at all as Dawson Cox got around him, and Haley now looking to the inside of him as well briefly. It seems like every single race, the 1978 are right next to each other, it seems like.
Every single time. And don't take your eyes off Donnie Wannett sitting right in behind them in the 89. We know how good he is, and he's going to be a factor come showdown time as well, so don't sleep on the 89. He's going to be there too.
Yeah, Donnie last year is one of the 3 drivers actually eligible for the bonus after the Friday night portion of the Pro Late Models, so we know he can get it done here on the 5/8. We know he has plenty of laps around here in the 3/8 in these late models, so yeah, it's cool seeing him back here on the 3/8, so we'll see what he's able to do. Like we mentioned, a long race, just 11 laps down, still 64 more to go. Chad Fitzpatrick, Caden Holm, and right there, Nick Beecher having a great run in his rookie campaign.
Yeah, good job, Beecher, holding down that 3rd spot right now, and you can say that holding it down. He isn't in the picture for the lead, however, he's not in danger of losing 3rd imminently. This has been a fantastic battle between 2 of our veterans in Bennett and Nema. Nema might finally have just enough of a hint to get to the inside of Greg, but Greg consistently is getting to where he needs to be. Now the push through turn number 1, and that's going to open the door.
Yeah, Nama's so strong on the bottom and just gets that car hooked up and able to carry that momentum down the back straightaway through turns 3 and 4. And before we know it, just in front of them, Dan Morris really starting to hunt down that 45 and Nick Beecher for that 3rd spot. But right now, Dawson Cox trying to follow the tire tracks and Nema Lang through past Greg Bennett and trying to work his way into the 6th position.
So important that when a position is there, when you can get to the inside of a guy, you got to take advantage of it. And Dawson's still young in his racing career as far as the late model goes. Does a good job following Nema right through, taking the position when it's available to him. As we are 15 laps into this, there's 60 to go. Nema Lang's starting to move, and he's trying to bring Dawson Cox with him.
Exactly, yeah. Now Nick Beecher sitting in your 3rd spot. That's the 45 white and black car on your screen with Dan Moore and the PRCBD machine. That's the purple and green car right there looking to the inside. I think Dan Moore's a little bit faster, and he's going to show it right there. Going to upset the 45, going off a corner exit and corner number 2, and going to open up that door himself. I mean, you mentioned you got to take advantage of those positions when you can grab them, and Dan Moore is going to make full advantage of that as he's going to pass Nick Beecher, move himself into the 3rd spot, and bring Nema Lang and Dawson Cox with him.
You know, one of the interesting things with this racetrack condition that we've got right now, Kyler, is that outside groove that we've seen be very strong is not at the moment. You don't see drivers getting up top and really able to hold their position. Now, maybe that's just been out of necessity, and that the faster car has been happy to stick in down low and has had that outside line, but we haven't seen drivers fight back and really hold the spot or take position around the outside. I don't know if that's a function of the little bit of cloud cover that we have, that it's not particularly hot up there at the moment or what, but it's definitely a thing as you're watching Cox now try to get to the inside. He will take a spot from Beecher, looks like going into turn 1. So again, Lang moves, Lang followed more, and now Cox trying to follow Lang up and through the field as your leader starting to work into slower traffic.
Yeah, but he just put down Angel Cervantes 1 lap down. That's Chad Fitzpatrick, and then he's going to move to the inside of the 74 of Dan Beecher as well. So a couple cars going a lap down now as Chad Fitzpatrick opened up quite a sizable lead over Caden Holm. As Chad just out for a nice drive. I mean, he'd like to see this thing stay green because at this rate, it'd be really hard for the Nema Lang and the Nema Lang and Dan Morris to really try to hunt him down.
Yeah, for sure. If this stays clean and green, that's a ton of track positioning that he's opened up early on in this contest without having to really abuse his equipment to get into the top spot. We're watching Lang knocking on the door of the top 3. Nema works to the inside of Moore. Can't quite make the pass at the moment. Lang continuing to put the pressure on, though, looking for a podium and more as the laps, they go really, really fast.
Yeah, and Dan Moore and Nema Lang are probably 2 of the most seasoned veterans when it comes to late model racing here on the 3/8 at Evergreen Speedway, so it's definitely a fun battle to watch between these 2 veterans.
And they are quietly closing up on Caden Holm, who Holm has made his way past Cervantes, looking to get past Dan Beecher as well. But 3rd and 4th are closing in on your 2nd place car of Caden Holm. Holm, you see there in the white with orange trim number 9. clear as Beecher. He's going to try to run back down Fitzpatrick, but he's got third and fourth starting to make up some time on him.
Yeah, he's definitely wants those two to battle hard and try to let him check back out and open up a gap again. As Dan Beecher's going to hang a couple tires off, able to hang on to it. It's so tough in these late models when they hang a tire off because these cars sit so low that they hang the tire off and they start scraping that frame rail. You saw the sparks fly out from the bottom of the 74, so it definitely becomes a handful quick. So Dan did a great job hanging on to that car.
Did you see the speed in which Cox closed on Lang there? Boy, he really narrowed up on Nema in a big hurry. As I said, Cox closed up on Lang. Dawson, I think, has got a really good race car here this evening.
Yeah, he seems like it's handling really well. I mean, we're just 26 laps down so far, and he's been able to almost put the car wherever he wants it and really be able to follow Nema Lang right through. So it's been a fun time watching the 18-7 work through the field. Thomas Stanford, your fast qualifiers, just outside the picture right now is Dan Moore looking to the inside of Caden Holm. I think Caden knows that his car's not necessarily handling the best, so he's maybe not going to put up a huge fight and try to fall in line behind these guys and let them go hunt down Chad Fitzpatrick for the race lead and try to follow him through.
Yeah, he swung way wide off the fourth corner the last time by and is actually kind of rallying and rebounding nicely here. We had talked a little bit about guys not being able to use the outside to get around. Well, Holm now showing that it's not bad. And Dawson Cox going to the high side on Nema Lang and trying to follow him. Now, if Cox has got a lane, if somehow Holm can get back by and get down on Moore, Cox might have a lane to get around a couple of guys here. This is going to be fast. Oh, they're almost 3-4 wide.
That's some great racing right here for second on back. Caden Holm, Daniel Moore, Dawson Cox, and Nema Lang all battling together. It's three distinct lines that they're all taking through the corner. Caden way out on the outside, Dana Moore way on the bottom, and Dawson kind of running between them, trying to find a way through. I think the 7 might have the fastest car of the bunch right here, but he's boxed in, as you can tell.
Well, gosh, boy, if Caden had gotten through 1 and 2 a little bit better, it almost looks like he's getting through 3 a little better. Although, again, pushing wide off the corner, a fantastic side-by-side battle. As now Holm going to slide up. He's going to lose the spot definitively to Moore. Lang gets by, and Cox, really sharp, got out from outside Nema, tucked back in. He's going to take the position where he gets to him. Stanford getting involved in the battle, too.
Exactly, yeah, the 19-year quick qualifier. He's worked his way into the picture after that side-by-side battle was going on between their second through sixth place. As they continue to go on back straightaway, Dawson Cox going to clear Caden Holm now. So Caden now lost 3 spots in the last few laps. So that 9K car just not handling right where he wants it to be, it seems like.
Nope. Tucks in, takes the spot where he can get him. But a good battle trying to hang on to it as you saw the car had started pushing wide. And he fought as long as he could and now tucks in the line, going to try to save some positions here.
Yep, there's your race leader, Chad Fitzpatrick. Just put Gunderson a lap down as well. Andrew Link, I think, is also 1 lap down. Good to have Andrew Link back out here. Got that car built up. It was, I want to say, showdown last year where Andrew ended up pretty hard on the outside of the turn 3 wall. It was either showdown or Galloway. I can't remember which one it was, but it was one of the 5/8 races. Tore up his car pretty bad. So it's good to see him back out here in that 25 machine. It's always good bringing these late model guys back out here after an incident like that.
His father, Jim, been putting her back together piece by piece, week by week, and he is here competing once again. As, boy, the action's hot and heavy. We've got to take a timeout. Come on back. Oh, we're going to take a caution, so don't blink. You won't miss anything here on Home Track Heroes.
Yeah, Caden Holm around off the corner as we'll go into a quick replay. Couldn't quite see what happened, just out of frame as he just going to slide into the frame like that. So tough break there for Caden Holm as we'll ride on board with him as, like Kayla mentioned, don't go anywhere. We still got plenty of action left right here on CW11. Just goes around all by himself and not quite the position you want to end up in right there. But don't go anywhere. We'll be back. Welcome back to Home Track Heroes, just shy of halfway of the Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late Model main event. Kyler Hope, Caleb Hart up here in the booth with you guys as we still got 40 laps to go. We got a great Pro Late Model race so far, and we're stacking them all back up, and it should be fun.
That's been a lot of good racing action. Nose to tail, side by side, little physicality. Chad Fitzpatrick has been in control. He took the lead over on lap 5, and here with 40 to go, we'll see if Chad can continue, hammer down, and holding on to her. Green is out. Daniel Moore with the chance to start side-by-side with him going into the first and second turns.
Dawson Cox all over the back bumper cover of Daniel Moore, lifting up the rear end a little bit bit in turns 1 and 2, upsetting the 16 machine. But Nema Lang looks like the strongest car right now on the inside, trying to find a lane around Chad Fitzpatrick. See them all sliding up off the corner, all of them driving really hard, as that's a tight 5-car battle right there.
That's been one that we've watched a lot this year, is Lang chasing Fitzpatrick, and Lang first kind of deal with Moore. If he can get Moore out of the way, then he's got some freedom to experiment. But Daniel really sticking hard at the outside groove, and nice to see finally that outside is coming in. The driver's starting to make it work for him. Gives us 2 lanes of racing action, and behind them, boy, Stanford and Cox. Donnie wanted up to 6 as well, really battling tough. So Moore finally tucks in, and let's see if Dawson can swing wide and get around him. He's got a really good car the further he pushes up racetrack.
Yeah, and that was almost Caden home right there. We saw again the outside wall. So we'd mentioned Dawson Cox so strong on the outside. Nema Lang with a run to the inside for the race lead. He's got his nose in there. Chad gives him the lane just enough. Almost kind of pinches him through the middle of the corner. But at the line, it's still going to be Chad Fitzpatrick leading over Nema Lang. Meanwhile, Dawson Cox got around Daniel Moore the long way for the 3rd position. As you see Wyatt Gardner on the 5.8's pulling off, so some trouble there for the 3 machine. But up front, the 18 still trying to work that inside line. He just like gets so loose in the center of the corner, can't quite get the power down. But this time at the line, we got a new race leader, I think, Nema Lang up front.
Yep, change that ticker over, give Nema the top spot as he takes that lead over 40 laps into this. So Fitzpatrick leads 5 through 39.
And we got Mike Jensen facing the wrong way, so that actually might give the lead back over to Chad Fitzpatrick.
Well, let's see how they end up scoring the thing.
So if we have to go back to the last completed lap, it might be Chad Fitzpatrick. They might have all got across the line when Mike Jensen got around, so we'll have to see. That was interesting to scoring, but I mean, they were nose to nose at the line. That was some phenomenal race for the race lead.
Hundreds, if not thousands of seconds that are going to be separating those two. And as we come back to action, tell you that this segment brought to you by Washington's Lottery. Created in 1982, the Washington Lottery was established to generate revenues for state programs through the sale of lottery products. Powerball, Mega Millions, Lotto Hit 5, Match 4, and Daily Keno. Washington's Lotto scratch games give players a choice of more than 30 games a year to experience. Washington's Lottery, dream big.
I dream big every time I get a scratch ticket, but it never seems to pan out for me.
I need that money to buy my own late model to come out and put people in it and go do race car things. Green flag's out, and now for sure, Nema Lang's going to be your leader.
Yeah, he got a great run there through 1 and 2, and he's bringing Dawson Cox along with him, which I think is what we said pretty much all race long, is the 7D just following the tire tracks at 18, and it's worked well for Dawson so far, working his way back through the field as he's all the way up to 2nd now. Chad Fitzpatrick 3rd on that outside line. I just don't think that 12C machine's quite as comfortable out there as like we saw Dawson Cox, who can go up there and really battle hard.
Yeah, so Chad pulls back in the line, and now Dawson's going to swing wide, and that's going to give Fitzpatrick a chance to run to his inside and try to retake position number 2. They go door panel to door panel through those corners, and now the question is, Dawson, can you drive around Fitzpatrick and hold him off, who's been very, very good in the bottom of the racetrack? Stanford's going to suck in there as well. Take a look. He's right up on the back of Fitzpatrick. And once again, don't sleep on Donnie Wannett.
Yep, Donnie Wannett's kind of hanging out there. He's in the 5th position right now in that all black with the yellow number 89 to the right side of your screen right there. Just hanging out, biding his time, letting these guys use up their stuff and maybe hanging on to some of those 970s for the end of the races. Up front is now all Nema Lang checking out over Dawson Cox, is able to get back completely around Chad Fitzpatrick using that outside line. Like we mentioned, that 7D just so strong out there, and battle for 3rd really picking up between the 12 and the 19 of Thomas Stanford.
We've seen Stanford have some really good races here. He's still looking for that top of the podium result that he's been after, but a chance here to sneak into the top 3 is Fitzpatrick losing touch with 1 and 2. Fitzpatrick goes to defense mode here, is Stanford all over him looking for 3rd.
Yeah, that 19 car looks so strong, just kind of biding his time. And we've seen this pretty periodically with the 19 throughout the year. He's really seems to be really good on the short runs, but tends to start falling off 5 to 10 laps through a green flag run. So we'll see if he's able to kind of fix that gremlin they've been battling, and if he can carry the momentum a little bit longer into this run and get around the 12 of Chad Fitzpatrick.
So this is the completion of the 7th lap since the drop of the green flag on the restart here, and Stanford's still in pretty good shape for the moment. You can see him literally reading the sponsor logos on the back of the 12 car of Fitzpatrick as he comes by. I wouldn't be surprised there isn't a little green and yellow paint on the nose of the 19. And Chad just pushed up a little wide off the corner. Was that enough? Sure looks like it. Stanford diving in low in 1 and 2.
Yeah, you can try to get that good rotation there through 1 and 2 side by side down the back straightaway. Stanford has the preferred line, but like we saw with Dawson Cox, it's not the end of the road for Chad Fitzpatrick out there on the outside line. He looks like he's going to tuck in behind before Donnie Wanna get there. No, he's going to stay out there and try to battle the 19, and it looks like he almost missed the entry on 1 and 2 right there, but Donnie didn't get the smoothest 1 and 2 either, so they're all going to fall in the line right there. Kind of an awkward corner for both drivers.
Yep, Wanna couldn't capitalize. I'm sure he's going to be kicking himself a little bit later as there was another spot available for him. However, new third-place car, it is Thomas Stanford, and Stanford a long way back of first and second with 25 to go. So we're 2/3 of the race in on this one. Nema Lang's got it, and Dawson Cox trying to chase him down and take it away from him, but Nema expanding that top spot lead.
Yep, and there's Chad Fitzpatrick and Donnie Wanna, your 4th and 5th place, and Colton Price up to 7th. He started way back, I believe, in the 13th position. So he started way deep in the field in that 14 car, one of the rookies, last year's mini stock champion. So he's doing a great job, just kind of working his way, keeping his nose clean all the way up to 7th. So great run for that 14 car.
Shout out to the 14, putting her all together here tonight. As you get a look at your top 2 as the sun finally setting, finally getting into the dark a little bit. Racetrack nice and cool for these drivers, but the tires got to be screaming at this point in time. They did get 4 fresh new tires this week, so that definitely helps. Don't know if everybody put them all on, as we have got problems going into turn number 1. Bennett and Beecher together.
Haley just getting off the nose of Bennett, avoiding contact. You see the Nick Gunderson, 521 Mike Jensen, Andrew Link all doing a great job to avoid him as well, as we cut to that just as it was happening. So we'll have to go back and take a look at the replay. Coming down on the front straightaway, Nick Beecher, Greg Bennett, kind of a racing deal. I mean, it's such an awkward entry into turn number 1. Greg kind of drifting up the line, Nick kind of coming down into him. It can go either way.
So I'll throw an alternate idea out there for you. I don't know if Bennett, the way that you saw Bennett close on Beecher, I don't know if Beecher stood on the brakes a little bit harder than what he had and slowed the car up a little more than Greg anticipated. It's an option. It's something, I mean, if I watch that replay 100 times, I might get a chance to tell you. But we're going to watch it once and go back to racetrack action.
And when we talk about turn 1 at Evergreen Speedway, so unique because it's so tight, or it's so wide, and then you have the white line that just kind of throws everything off because it's not really the true entrance right there. So it's really unique, really different. But up front on this restart, Dawson Cox on the outside line, we talked about how strong he's been in that 7D machine, and he's making Nema really work for it. He's out there pedaling it hard, and he might take over the race lead this time by.
Well, see if the ticker updates put Cox up there. It does. Dawson Cox leads on lap number 54.
So Dawson Cox going the long way around, the seasoned veteran of Nema Lang as they continue to battle side by side. Looks like this time it might go back to Nema Lang, and it does. So Nema Lang takes it back. So Dawson's able to lead a lap there on the restart as he's still there at the outside, just pestering Nema, not letting him get all the way out there like you'd like, and the yellow lights come on. So this great battle for the race lead is going to put to a stop as Mike Jensen facing the wrong way. Tough break there for Mikey in the 521 machine, as that was a phenomenal battle up front. We'll see what kind of replay we got here for the 521 Mike Jensen.
So what had been good, clean racing is kind of devolved here over the last little bit. A view from the in-cockpit cam with the big green lights on and into the corner. Yeah, some tomfoolery going on up ahead of him and might have ended up costing Mike.
Yeah, it looked like Greg Bennett looked like he got loose getting on the brakes in there, kind of hit that flat spot in turn number 1 and drifted up into the outside. I think that was Andrew Link as well he drifted up into, but ultimately it was Mike Jensen getting spun all the way around as you see Greg Bennett sent to the back of the pack for that contact.
All right, so Nema and Dawson again facing off.
Dawson again on the outside.
Yeah, Stanford and Wannett down the second row, so Wannett's gotten by Fitzpatrick for that spot.
So here on the restart, Fitzpatrick and Colton Price make it a row number 3 as another good jump for Dawson Cox on the outside line. I think he might be the strongest we've seen a pro late model be able to run the outside. Nema trying to push him up the track, but Dawson holding strong as it looks like just one car going down the back straightaways. They're that close, door to door, going off of turn number 4. They're banging doors. We got carnage all towards the back. Everyone's able to keep it straight for now. Back up front, it's Dawson Cox trying to maintain the outside, and Beecher's going to go around and keep it going. We'll stay green, hopefully. Looks like it.
And so far, so good. All right, so we're back to the battle, the one that's got us enthralled here. Nema and Cox, literally the 18 and 7, and I don't know if Dawson didn't have it again there at the line. through 1 and 2, and Dawson did have it there at the line. So, wow, Dawson Cox doing everything from the high side, and another caution flag.
It looks like that's Nick Beecher, or not Nick, Dan Beecher up there in the tires. So we saw him go around, and then maybe he got those tires a little bit too hot. So we'll have to go take a look at the replay here and see what exactly transpired to that 74 machine. Looked like just coming up off, and no,
yeah,
a little bit of,
out.
yeah, that's a jump in the access road. I mean,
up and over, hey.
Wow, that was some good airtime that he got there.
Not bad, although I hope the car's okay. Here's another look at it. Let's slow that thing down. And there's the ramp.
Wow.
He only might have got a foot off the ground, but I guarantee you he felt every bit of that on the landing.
We'll have to go out and measure that and start keeping track of that as to who can jump a late model the farthest.
All right, so now it's going to be Cox inside and Lang outside here. Ooh.
Wow. So
All
18 laps to go. Dawson Cox, we've seen how strong he was on the outside, but now he's on the inside. We haven't really seen Name venture out to the outside that much this race.
Hasn't had to.
So, yeah, he's been stuck to the bottom, just pushing his way through, being nice, calm, and collected. So we'll see what he's able to do here. Dawson kind of rolling through, playing games here on the start. We'll see if they like that start, and they're pretty side-by-side line. We'll see if they'll stick. Dawson Cox getting a good run on the bottom of 1 and 2 there. Look at that run the 7D got.
Nice run, Dawson, as Lang's going to fade back. He's going to tuck it down inside and now start trying
smoke out of the 12C machine. As he's going to go off track there. Something breaking on the 12 of Chad Fitzpatrick. That's going to put an end to a great run that he had.
Boy, a lot of laps led for Chad tonight, and it is not going down the way he wanted it to as he hangs out in the grass. So let's get another look into the corner, and out and all the way off. Hard to say what that was. I don't see a big trail of fluid coming out from behind the car.
You saw that little puff of smoke, and it just couldn't quite figure out what happened after that. As we ride on board with him, maybe locked up the brakes, and then something just never really came undone. Not quite sure there, but hey, don't go anywhere. We still got 17 great laps of late model action here from Evergreen Speedway on CW11.
Welcome back to Home Track Heroes here on CW11. Pro Late Model Main Event, the Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late Model Main with 18 laps to go. Caleb Hart, Kyler Hope, we have had 4 different leaders. We've had 6 lead changes over the course of this, and Dawson Cox has got the point coming to restart here, Kyler. This is going to be fun.
Exactly, yeah. Last time we saw him get a really good jump and was able to almost clear Name and Lang going on the back straightaway, but then the caution came out for Chad Fitzpatrick, but he's back out. Oh, and they're going to door each other going down on the front straightaway, so they're not playing games up front. Thomas Stanford going to stick his nose in there as well. Dawson Cox trying to push Nema off the track going down the back straightaway. Thomas Stanford's to the inside. A lot of contact there between your top 3.
Oh, it's getting physical up front, just like a bad Olivia Newton-John song as they work their way into turn number 1. Race leader is Cox, and he's actually getting away from Lang. That is huge for Dawson. We said it looked like he had the best car, and now with nobody to battle next to him, it certainly looks like he's taking full advantage of it.
Donnie Wana going off the track there. That's going to allow Colin Price to get the inside challenge for the 5th spot as it's just side-by-side battles all the way through the track as Thomas Stanford looks like he's going to get to the inside of Lang and try to clear, but we got cars around. That's the 520 on Mike Jensen. We're trying to stay green. It looks like we just might be able to.
Somehow, some way.
So, yeah, we're staying green right now. Dawson Cox has a huge lead over Nema Lang now, just 16 laps to go. And it's actually Thomas Stanford he has the lead over. And here comes Daniel Moore challenging. So, Nema Lang going backwards at the end of this race.
Haven't seen that a whole heck of a lot here. So, Nema fading. Moore looking for 3rd as this podium could look really, really weird. And Dawson just got to be hoping, okay, you guys, just play nice.
Yeah.
Play nice here. I want this to stay green. I like this lead. And wow, they're physical back there.
Yeah, they're not playing nice. They're playing hard, and they're battling hard as that's Daniel Moore on the inside of Nema Lang. We saw them battling earlier in the race, side by side. Still more contact between the two. Donnie Wan is able to get the 5th spot from Colton Price once again. As I mean, right there on them.
God,
wow.
This is looking like new body parts for everybody this week. Holy cow. Lang clears Moore. Now, does he come down racetrack? Yeah, he has not wanted to be up in that upper groove at all tonight. He has come down every chance that he has got. So, Lang back into 3rd and on the bottom is Wannett chasing after Moore. more for 4th, and we're down to 12 to go.
Yeah, and Thomas Stanford has a nice, comfortable lead over the 18 of Nama Lang for that second spot, and up front it's all Dawson Cox. So it's really settled down between 1, 2, and 3. 4th, 5th, and 6th right there on your screen, all under the blanket, nose to tail. Colton Price sitting there in 6th. Like, he's having a great run, so congrats to that 14. One of the highest running rookies, Thomas Stanford, the highest running up there in 2nd place, and then Nick Beecher, he's rebounded nicely, hanging out there in 7th spot as well.
That's a good run for him, as now 10 to go for Dawson Cox. And Dawson doesn't have a Pro Late win, does he?
No, he does not. Yellow lights come on, though, so that's going to erase the huge lead that he had. We got a couple cars, looks like, off the banking. That's Chad Fitzpatrick in the 33 of Nick Gunderson. So something going awry back there. Chad Fitzpatrick stay going from bad to worse as he had that issue and got put to the back of the pack, and then
it was good to know whatever it wasn't terminal, but it ends up with more torn up race car parts for him. Let's get a look at the replay. This will tell us a little bit more about what happened.
So we're going to jump on board first with Caden Holm looking backwards, seeing what happened. There's Chad Fitzpatrick and to the inside of Nick Gunderson going into turn number 3 and hops tires. Wow, that was vicious. That got ugly quick. That was just right rear or left rear to right front hop tires, and sent both cars for a ride.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah, from that point of view, you can see why stuff got torn up. But let's get another look from the inside of the cockpit here, into the corner, and that's from the Gunderson angle. Wow.
Sent him into the spin cycle. That was vicious by both drivers. So it was Chad Fitzpatrick getting up there. And it's always scary when you see the cars hop wheels like that in late models because they're carrying a ton of speed. And we've seen body panels just get ripped off of cars completely when that happens. But it's going to reset the lineup up front. I mean, Dawson Cox and Thomas Stanford, they're on their way to a solid 1-2 finish. But now they got Nama Lang, Daniel Moore, and Donnie Wannett, 3 of the biggest super late or pro late model veterans on the 3-8s at Evergreen Speedway right behind them now.
Yeah, you say a 1-2 finish. The question is, what order is it going to be? Drag racing down the front straightaway, and we are back to green. And again, we have seen Stanford, that car, be really, really good on like that first 5 to 10 lap run. The question is, what's he got left? Still pushing hard on the outside, and he is not letting Dawson Cox go by any means.
Yeah, I'd be scared to let Nama to my inside, though, as he's going to tuck in line right there. Donnie Wanigan really was having to chase car all the way down the track, but up front, it's Stanford putting the nose to Dawson Cox, and Thomas Stanford's going to take over the race lead and bring in Nama Lang with him.
Wow, big physical move there by Stanford. Now Cox goes back on the aggressive, and Lang with a run to the inside. So Stanford leads with 9 to go. That was lap number 66 that he takes over. Another lead change.
And Dawson Cox, he's been so strong on the outside line. It's going to be quite the battle that he's going to put up with Nama Lang as they're both closing in on the back bumper. Thomas Stanford once again. Some more contact between 2nd and 3rd place. More contact down into turns 1 and 2. And Nama's just going to push Dawson out of the way on corner entry and take over that 2nd spot. As this is a great battle up here with the race lead as we got cars all sorts of around in 1 and 2. They're all rolling for now, but yellow lights come on.
We saw sparks coming out from underneath on the multiple cars. Constance was slow over there. I'm trying to pick out the rest of them that were over there, so we'll get a look at the replay.
Going down the corner, and looks
Wyatt.
like 78 going down across the nose of the 3. They come together. Gunderson, he was the one that was sparking away with that missing door panel now, so tough break, but hey, we got some more restarts here with the Pro Late Models. 8 laps to go. Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late Models. Thomas Stanford and Nama Lang now make up your front row.
Wow, this is going to be crazy as they come off of turn number 4. The veteran on the outside, the upstart on the inside. And
carnage in the back.
More cars together, more body parts for more people.
As we stay green for now, up front, Thomas Stanford able to clear Nama Lang, going down into turn 3 and 4. So just 7 more times now around for Thomas Stanford. You got to hang on over the wily veteran of Nama Lang. Dawson Cox in there trying to hold off Daniel Moore for 3rd. As they're all nose to tail. Colton Price sitting there in 5th. Nick Beecher around. Donnie Wannett as well. So a couple of the rookies making their way forward. But it's the rookie Thomas Stanford showing the way up front with just 6 laps to go here in the Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late Model 75-lap main event.
It's amazing how things can change. As on that green flag run, we were saying that it might be Nama fading backwards. And now Nama has a look to the inside of Stanford getting into turn number 3. Here comes the veteran down to the inside, looking to create some space for him. Lang looking to take the lead once again.
that time by. It looked like it's still Thomas Stanford with the race lead, but going into 1, it's definitely Naaman Lang as Dawson Cox going to follow the way through, and he's going to work his way in. So something going wrong in the 19 machine is he's just falling back, got that outside line, really upset the car, and here comes Daniel Moore. I mean, Thomas Stanford will be going from the top set of the podium to the bottom really quick as we have just 4 laps to go as they cross the start-finish line that time by. A ton of sparks coming out from the underneath 7 machine as that's Nick Beecher around Commentator's Curse.
Huh. All right. Well, there we go. Another wild sequence of events, another lead change, and
so here's the initial start with Constance getting way up in the air, and she ended up pulling to the infield a few laps later. That was a wild ride going over the nose of Bennett, and then here's what brought out the caution flag right here.
That's going to make my boss grumpy here as, into the corner, and no quarter will be given, no mercy will be shown between the 45 and the 89.
It looks like the brakes just got locked up on Donnie Wana going in the corner. It looks like he saw smoke before he even got to the back bumper of the 45. Let's take a look here on the side of Caden Home.
Yeah, this will give us a good look. Oh, yeah, he's trying
on
to,
the brakes.
He's not trying
Yeah,
to.
those are hard brake lock up right there, stuff there. The Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late Models put on a show. This segment brought to you by Speedway Chevrolet. Visit Speedway Chevrolet and RV Center in Monroe for customized trucks, lifted trucks, work trucks, and Speedway Chevrolet can locate the truck that fits you best. Speedway Chevrolet and RV Center also wants your trade-in and will buy or co-sign your vehicle or RV. Take the hassle out of selling it on your own with Speedway Chevrolet. The Pro Late Models coming here. 4 laps to go. Naaman Lang, Dawson Cox on the front row.
I wonder if they take a trade-in on some lightly used late model bodies, as there's going to be a few after this one.
Yeah.
So we've seen this play out before. Cox is good in the outside. Now we're down to 4 to go. Can he drive around Naaman Lang for his first Pro Late Model win? Lang low, Cox high, side-by-side advantage Lang for the time being.
Yeah, Dawson's so good on the outside line. Overdrives it a little bit. He's going to tuck in below and maybe go for a crossover down into 3, almost to the inside. That would have been a great move from the young driver of the 7D, Dawson Cox. Just did not quite have the momentum to get there. 2 to go this time by.
Wow, something. You almost feel like something's got to give here. Cox might have the faster car. Lang's got the benefit of track positioning. 3/8 of a mile to decide it coming up.
And he's within striking distance, Dawson Cox, and we know he's not afraid to use that front bumper. He's not going to go out and wreck a guy, but he's definitely going to let him know he's there and try to move him out of the way. Let's see if Dawson can get a good run off of 1 and 2. He's going to have one more chance to do it going into turn number 3.
Back straight away. Naaman Lang has got just enough room, and somehow Naaman Lang pulls off another win here in the Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late Models. Cox second, and Stanford in third. How about it? So how about
wow.
Yeah, and as we get down here to the end, so listen to this. Home leads 1 through 4. Fitzpatrick leads 5 through 39. And then from lap 39 on, Lang leads 40 through 53. Cox 54. Lang 55 and 56. Cox 57 through 50 or through 65. Stanford 66 through 69. And then Lang 70 forward. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 8 lead changes.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Phenomenal racing here. Great 75-lap main event. Let's go down and hear from probably a pretty tired Naaman Lang because, man, he had to work for that win.
3 for 4, Nama. Fantastic race tonight. What is it like?
Well, it was a long day out here, and then that was a long race, way too many yellows, but it was mentally tough. I had Lane up there keeping me calm, and my guys gave me a good race car. A couple restarts. It took a while to get going, but as long as I get 5 or plus laps, and the car's good. So it was a fun race, long race.
Got anyone you'd like to thank for tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. J&R Motorsports, J&R Truck Rentals, Lang Auto Sports, Tracy DeYoung, DeYoung Inc., and my whole crew for all the work they put in during the week.
You made that top line work all night. You seem to be the only person to do it. What was the secret there?
Blind luck? I really love the outside. Anytime I can get an excuse to use it, I'm going to probably use that excuse. It's a lot of practice, but I kind of figured it out this year, and now I'm like, yeah, if it's open, I might as well try. I got to thank everybody that helped me this weekend. We had our hands full all day. First practice, we broke a clutch. Second practice, another clutch. Went out for qualifying, broke a rocker. Bill Hunt helped us get that back together. We stole a rocker off Name of Lang's motor, his blown up one, so thanks for that. But I got to thank everybody else that helped me. My dad, Steve Cox, Dave Riddell, Augie, doing our tires. He does a great job. I'm sure I'm forgetting Kelly Tanner, the whole Tanner family. It's Tyler's birthday today, so happy birthday. Thanks for letting me steal your parents for the day. And I really got to thank my sponsors, Busch Light and Anheuser-Busch. I really appreciate everything they've done for us this year.
That race was simply amazing. How was it for you behind the wheel of that number 19?
It was a bit of a handful. We didn't have a great drive off, and it's a little rougher racing than I would have liked, but Saturday night short track racing, you're going to bend some fenders up. We got a lot of work to do, but that's all right. It was fun. I'm glad to be back on the podium. Honestly, we didn't fire off great. I'm pretty happy with third based off how the first 20 laps went, so it was fun. It's just hard racing. I got to thank all my sponsors, APC Auto Spa, Easy Street Cold Mix Asphalt, Frost Livestock, Hager Motorsports, D.A. Davidson. Got to thank my crew. They put in a lot of hours. They spend all day at the racetrack, and we're going to put a lot of hours in the next 2 weeks to get ready for the Summer Showdown, but I'm excited for that, so thank you.
I mean, if you like short track racing, you had to enjoy that. That was phenomenal.
That was pretty good. 8 different races. 8 lead changes. I think 5 or 6 different race leaders. Absolutely awesome. Nema having the lead, backing all the way up to third.
Well, yeah, with 8 to go, he was about to lose the podium spot to Daniel Moore.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
That was good.
Well, I mean, if you liked what you watched there, we got a completely different kind of style of racing for you guys next week here on Home Track Heroes. It's the biggest figure 8 race of the year, the Figure 8 Nationals, 50 laps for each division. And if you are new to Home Track Heroes, we have 3 divisions here. Yep. So that's 150 laps of figure 8 racing. You're not going to want to miss it.
Coming up on the show next week, you're going to want to be in the stands, though. Summer Showdown coming up Friday the 22nd, Saturday the 23rd. We're going on the 5/8s, Pro Late Models on Friday night, Super Late Models on Saturday night. Huge money, great environment, the big stars coming out, including Derek Thorne and more. You won't want to miss it. You got to get to Evergreen Speedway.
Yep, Derek Thorne fresh off a 3rd place finish at the Slinger National. So, I mean, he's out there, he's traveling around, and he's choosing to come to Evergreen Speedway. You're not going to want to miss it. Definitely come out. My name is Kyler Hope. That was Caleb Hart. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for everyone that makes this show possible. We will see you guys next week right here on CW11.
Thanks for watching Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on CW11. Join us next week for more great racing from Evergreen Speedway.